It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner Funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, we are back in the saddles again. Rothman and Ice, they let us out of the studio today. They tagged us and released us into the wild. I have been down and out in Beverly Hills for about 5-6 days. Matty, you were off last week. Good to see you, my man.
Good to see you, man.
We appreciate all the fill-ins, but this was a very untimely departure. You knew I was playing a little bit of a cold flu game when you were with me on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Then you departed. Then I pulled ripcord. But we're back together, and they let us out for the first show. We are at Medallion Golf Club up here in Westerville. Home on Scotty Vegas.
The house that Scotty built.
Put everything on his tab today.
Yes.
And we're here for a very special cause because this is the MC Charity Challenge. The MC Charity Challenge was birthed and founded by Mike Zimmer and Charles Burris. And they put this together to raise so much money to focus on going to the James and the cancer research and everything that's involved in that. And they've raised $1.5 million in the first 9 years of this thing. They've got an auction, they've got the golf, they've got everything. Record attendance this year, despite this ridiculous August weather. They are playing 46 foursomes, more than 30 sponsors, and 100% is going to the James Cancer Hospital with the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer spearheading all of that. And so, pretty cool place. We'll have some guests that'll filter in throughout the show. But if you are interested in checking out some of their amazing auction items that they do have, it's kind of a strange little website that I'm going to tell you to go to, so I'll speak slowly. Go to, and this is mcc.cbo.io. I'll say it again, mcc.cbo.io. I'll mention it throughout the show. It's presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, and this was established in 2017. They've got some awesome items, including a suite at the 21 Pilots show. They've got a Natty helmet signed by Caleb Downs and all sorts of cool stuff. Blue Jackets, Buckeye Cruise, everything is on that site. So mcc.cbo.io, and you'll see all the items. But good to see you, my man.
Yeah, man, good to see you. How you feeling, man? You been all right?
Climbing out of it.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I don't want to bring Canton into this, but it feels like I got the Canton crud coming off the Hall of Fame.
I know Jordan's your guy. You don't always have to honor him with a flu game of your own. You know what I mean? He held it down himself, man. I always get worried about you when you go out of town. It seems like you come back with something every time. So, no, good to see you
parting
again,
gift
man.
wherever
it's crazy.
I come back.
I feel bad.
They want me to go home with something.
But it's beautiful here. You mentioned us here at Medallion. It's great. Great hospitality already, and it looks like it's going to be a great day out there. I was worried throughout the weekend, man. The rain was ridiculous over the last 3 to 4 days. Absolutely insane around the city. So glad the sun's out here. And, yeah, this is the house that Scotty Vegas built, man. And let me tell you something, folks. It is a beautiful house. So this is what you get when you cash in on all those 15-leg parlays. You get to come to a place like this and live like a king. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun day, man. Glad we're here.
All right. It's cool. They've got Scotty might sneak out and try to win a Range Rover, a BMW. They got 2 hole-in-one holes here. No lease. I think you own that if you win it. All right, so we might be going home in style. Yeah. The AP poll is out.
It's hot.
Do you know it?
I've seen it.
Have you seen? Oh, you
synced it.
All right, you've seen it.
I've synced it.
All right. So I want to say, in a weird way, I did not expect it to mimic the coaches.
Yeah.
I expected the writers to put the coaches in their place and do something different. And it's literally just popped up in front of me.
Yep.
And all I've seen is like the top 3. Am I wrong to think it's identical?
So what I'm looking at with the AP poll, Ohio State at 1, Oregon at 2, Georgia 3, Notre Dame at 4, Texas rounds out the top 5. The coaches poll, do you have that in front of you right now? Because I think we are pretty doggone close to it being identical. Let me see if I can get that fired up for you. But there you are, Buckeye fans. In both the coaches and the AP poll, Ohio State comes in at number 1.
Yeah, so that's kind of nuts that I didn't expect them to mimic it.
I honestly thought when the AP poll dropped that they would still be in the top 3. But it just felt to me like this entire offseason has been Oregon this, Oregon that, with how much they're returning and how is this the other Big Ten team that's going to follow the trend of veteran quarterback, a whole bunch of guys on the both sides of the ball coming back. But clearly, all these voters are looking at the talent that's in-house already for Ohio State, the guys that are coming in via the portal and thinking, that's the best team in the country right now on paper. I'm a touch surprised. Not that I don't think they have all the talent in the world to have this ranking next to their name. But, man, I thought this was going to be Oregon based off the buzz around them.
Yes, it's not about Ohio State. That's certainly no one's going to have an argument with that. It's the fact that somehow the writers tab the exact same top 5 as the coaches. That's bizarro to me. I did not see that coming at all. And maybe I'm wrong, but didn't they have – they might even have – it might go further down the line because they had Indiana 6, Miami 7, and that's the same as the writers. Let's keep going. A&M 8. I think that's the same as – please tell me I'm looking at the correct AP poll here.
Let me get you the rest of the top 10. So I have Miami at 7, A&M at 8, Ole Miss 9, Oklahoma 10.
So that's the only thing they missed was I think they had Oklahoma and Ole Miss swapped. I think the coaches have Oklahoma 9, and the AP has Ole Miss 9.
That's correct. That is correct.
Okay, that's – honest to God, I expected something to the tune of Oregon, Ohio State, probably Texas somewhere, maybe at Notre Dame at 5. I think that's been a common thing. The one that surprises me the most right off the gate is the fact that the writers have Georgia the same place the coaches do, because there are a lot of good teams here, and Kirby Smart is supposed to have a bounce back with Gunnar Stockton and his team, but I did not see Georgia being 3 in the writers.
No, been a quiet off season for them, and maybe that's how Kirby Smart likes it, right? Gunnar Stockton, for me, I've never really been that impressed with him. Like he seems like a guy that's got a safe floor. Don't know how high the ceiling is, but when you recruit at Georgia the way that Kirby does, maybe you don't need an all-world quarterback under center to make everything go. And so, yeah, they've got a lot to prove. I think is a bit much, but I think for Georgia, when you look at the landscape of the sport right now, Georgia and Alabama are supposed to be the pillars of the SEC, and right now the Big Ten is holding it down around the sport. So we'll see if this is the team that can do it. I'm in wait-and-see mode with the Georgia Bulldogs at this point. You look at the surrounding teams in the top 10, all of them have either a veteran quarterback or a quarterback coming back for year 2. So I think that's always a great place to start when you're looking at the teams that you believe in as a voter, because all the way down the line from Julian Sand down to our guy at Ole Miss and Trinidad Chambliss, these are teams that I think have guys that people are going to believe in based off of what they saw from the quarterback a year ago.
Yeah, listen, Georgia was the second youngest team in the SEC last year, and so I'm going to give them the experience factor. Gunnar Stockton looked fairly solid in his first year as a starter.
Yeah.
And the other part is, and this is maybe for everybody that follows college football, is that when they retool the secondary with all these experienced transfers, that's what changes everything. Because putting the transfers on a new team, you really don't know how it's all going to shake out. The one thing I'm wondering, because I don't think they vote this way, but whether they look at the schedule, I think it's mostly on what they think the team can be. But if you look at the Bulldogs' schedule, they're playing only 4 games outside the state of Georgia. They're playing Arkansas, Bama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina. So they have that going for them. And I think their defense should be pretty good.
Yeah.
It's about whether they're the third-ranked team in the nation. But we won't bury the lead any longer. Ohio State is the number 1 team in the country, and everyone's coming for them. And the fact that the defending champs in Indiana are 6, this is now college football. This is the retooling every year, not know who has what and where. We know what Ohio State has for sure, and they know what they have in the duo at quarterback and wide receiver. And we'll see with all those players. This is such a tribute to Ohio State. And I know it's preseason poll, and I'm not going to go crazy about it, but since it is the topic of the day, we have to talk about it. But this is such a tribute to the fact that they lost all of those guys to the NFL, and that this country, coaches and writers, still think they're the team to beat.
I think it's respect for Coach Day and how his staff develops talent. When you look at the guys that have come in the portal over the last few years, A lot of those guys have been impactful, guys that just got drafted. You mentioned a guy like Caleb Downs. They're looking at players like that are coming from other programs, and they're saying, man, they're coming to Columbus and they're turning into absolute dudes. So James Smith has a chance to do that. You look at Earl Little Jr. on the back end, they have a chance to do that. And so these are guys that are coming in that are juniors and seniors that have played a decent amount of football. So that combination of what's coming in with what's already here, and I think the respect that Coach Day's earned amongst coaches and voters because they know that when Ohio State comes out of that tunnel, that's going to be a hell of a team that you're going to have to deal with. And so this is going to be another thing for them to have to work through, right, is having a massive target on their back, as they always do. But now when you got that number one next to your name, it cranks it up a little bit more.
I just don't know how it could have gotten this similar. They have Michigan 16, and the coaches had them 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, were they cheating off each other's paper?
Probably.
Like, how did this happen?
Just a little lazy, just a little lazy.
No, it's unbelievable to me. So the coaches had LSU at 13, and here they have them 11. So they're a little higher amongst the writers. Penn State is 18. Iowa's 22nd. I'm looking to see Ohio. So on Ohio State's schedule in the AP, very similar. They'll play 2. They'll play 5. They'll play 6. They'll play 16.
14.
Who did I miss? USC.
Yeah.
AP has so the AP had BYU and USC tied at 14.
Yes.
So,
seeing that
again, the schedule is robust. Everybody knows that.
Wait, what is it, sir? What's
It's
it
a
called?
gauntlet.
Thank you.
It's an absolute gauntlet.
Iowa comes in at 22 on the AP poll again, so another on paper ranked opponent for Ohio State before we play any ball.
Iowa was 22. They are 22 in the coaches.
Yeah, so there you go. There you go.
I've never, honestly, I don't track it every year like this, but to not have one team different, this is the correct AP, right? I keep saying that only because I'm questioning, like, the fact that it could be that
you
close.
got it right, man. I'm looking at a few of them now. So
Ohio State got 40 first-place votes, it looks like.
What did Indiana get? I'm curious about
8.
that. So they got 8 first-place votes in this one. And then in the in the coaches poll,
They got 14.
They got 14.
Yeah. But look at Oregon. Look at the difference between Oregon's first-place votes.
What did they get in the AP, Oregon?
In the AP, Oregon got 14.
They got 6 in the coaches.
They got 6 in the
Okay,
coaches.
so a little bit more in the AP. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, the only double-digit first-place vote team in the coaches was Indiana, and they went up 6th. So there's like a big discrepancy in what maybe they can be following up their undefeated season. Texas got 2 first-place votes. They were ranked 4th in the coaches. They are ranked 5th in the AP. Is that correct? Yes, 5th in the AP. So they did swap Notre Dame and Texas.
Flip those two.
Speaking of Notre Dame, Brady Quinn will not drop by, but he'll be on at 12:30. We'll get to him. A lot of preseason action. And the Browns. Do we buy any of what we saw? We'll get after that next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Every year, summer ends and the kids go back to school. This year, I'm going back too, at My Computer Career. They'll help me get the skills and certifications that can get me noticed by top employers in months, not years. Now I'm on a fast track to a high-demand IT career where the rewards can finally match my value. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. It's never too late to go back to school.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
The magic of Harry Potter is now at Tim's. Choose your Hogwarts house donut, summon the refreshing flavor of sparkling Patronus, or seek out the delicious golden snitch Timbit. Try them all at Tim's.
At participating U.S. restaurants while supplies last.
When your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, you better do your homework. Once a joint is replaced, there is no going back. Hi, it's Tyvis Powell. Before you schedule surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to Dr. Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatment to deliver relief to patients like you here in the Columbus area. If you're a good candidate, they'll concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right on the spot that actually causes the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off surgery, or in some cases, even avoiding it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option before making a decision that can change your life. Don't just accept surgery as your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation are totally free. Go to QCkinetics/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Hey friends, Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and UFC fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day, all the way from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place, here with a happy customer.
Wilson's trying very hard.
Thanks, Mom. I mean, Margaret.
Wilson, is this your mom?
Yes.
Yo, Mom.
Wilson, your mom should like your windows.
Oh, I wouldn't know. We actually have Pella windows.
Mom!
They've really lowered our energy bills.
I'm gonna go wait in the car.
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Bring bold flavor to every cookout with Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
What defines Ohio? A place that dares to go first and never looks back. There's no slowing us down. At Jobs Ohio, our mission is clear. Strengthen job opportunities and empower Ohio's workforce. Another reason why Ohio is now ranked the #1 state for business by CNBC. This is what unstoppable feels like. We did it together, Ohio. Our time is now. See Ohio's momentum at jobsohio.com/Ohio's time.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Capital Ford of Columbus.
You be careful talking about Desmond Howard on these airwaves. Don't tell me that you're a young one. I've been there. I lived it. Either way, don't you read the old scrolls to me.
Mornings on The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For the afternoon, some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms do remain possible. Otherwise, more clouds than sunshine, humid, highs in the lower 80s. Overnight, mostly clear skies develop. We'll watch for some areas of fog. For your Tuesday, morning fog, then mostly sunny and somewhat less humid, highs around 81. For The Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it. Their live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, back at it. We're live at Medallion Golf Club here in Westerville for the MC Charity Challenge, raising money for the James. And it is a massive crowd here, and they're letting them out on the course, and they're going to raise that money. So it's going to be an awesome day. We'll let Brady Quinn, bottom of the hour, talk about college football that is just days away, I can say now.
It's right around the corner, man. It really is. We were reacting to the AP poll off the top real quick before we get into some Brown stuff. Reese Davis, you can look at his poll online. Reese Davis had Notre Dame 1, Ohio State 2, Indiana 3, Miami 4, Oregon 5, Georgia 6, Texas 7. That's his top 7. That's all I can see. So Reese Davis, he's looking at Notre Dame as the team to beat right now.
Yeah, and that's another question about whether or not it's about who they are, which is most of it. I bet but 25% of it may be about how they're going to be heavily favored in all but 2 games.
Yes.
Home against Miami and at BYU. Right. And I don't know, maybe people do it that way. I wouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
I would do it. I wouldn't look at a schedule and say, since you have a weak-ish schedule, that I would say that makes you better.
Right.
I would never do the poll that way.
Fair.
Maybe other people don't do it either.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a factor. It's probably a combination of a couple things, right? It's the schedule, who the quarterback is, how Marcus has had this momentum going for Notre Dame. They played in the Natty a couple years ago. The recruiting looks really good. But where we are right now, especially with C.J. Carr, there's a ton of belief that he's the guy that's going to take them to the promised land. So because of that, his upside with the schedule that you alluded to, they better be right there in the mix. But Reese's stamping Notre Dame is the best team in the country right now.
They're going to miss Love and Price.
No
I mean, they have to. How can you're making up for 2,000 yards and almost 30 touchdowns last season. But, Williams averaged almost 10 yards a carry, and Carr, you mentioned, should be better in his second season as a starter. And it's I'm looking at their roster, 9 of their top 10 tacklers I believe are back. So I'm not arguing that Notre Dame's going to be very good. I'm just wondering for Reese to name them number 1.
Right.
I'm wondering where that belief comes from. Maybe a lot of that is C.J. Carr, which he's right to believe that. And so, but when you lose Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price and Malachi Fields and a couple guys, a guy off their offensive line, a safety, but everybody loses people. So I'm not going to just
right. So, and when you're Notre Dame, you're Ohio State, you're Georgia, you're these top programs, I think there's always a belief that they're just reloading, right? Whether it's guys that they've recruited on their own and developed, or guys that they're bringing in the portal, they're ready to pop off. The Notre Dame situation is always going to be interesting here for a lot of Buckeye fans to watch too, because of the transfers to Notre Dame, that being Quincy Porter and Mylan Graham, and so their connection with C.J. Carr versus what happens here with the receivers and Julian Sand, for me, is going to be very fun to watch, right? It's because Jeremiah Smith, what he's going to do, but outside of that, here in Columbus, where's the wide receiver room going? And if we start talking about Quincy Porter and Mylan Graham popping off up there in Notre Dame, could be some interesting conversations had on social media for sure.
All right, full disclosure, how much preseason football did you watch this weekend?
I watched all of the Browns stuff.
Did?
Well, just the core. I was just so caught up in the quarterback. I wanted to see what it looked like. And I just watched highlights of my Ravens. Other than that, that's all I consumed, man.
Yeah.
Caught some of the Bengals stuff, but that was on, Thursday or Friday of last week. But, yeah, the Brown stuff.
Joey Burrow getting sacked on the first play of the game.
No, man. Just a nightmare for Bengal fans to see that. Just like, here we go again, right? Because we talk so much about the defense, but that's always been a thing. Is just, can they hold up front for him? And can he hold up physically based off of what's unfortunately happening?
It's the balance in preseason, right?
Yeah.
And you want to stay sharp. You want to have an edge. You don't want to. But here's the difference, and I really urge people, you don't have to do this, I'll tell you. So before we get into the Browns, there is a difference between being able to protect your quarterback and not. All weekend long, all I heard was how great Ty Simpson looked.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. He threw the football really well. He saw open receivers. He hit them. But I am telling you, as God is my witness, he had 5 seconds to throw every time he faded back.
Shout out to the O-line. Shout out to the big dogs.
I am telling you, the difference between the Rams O-line and everybody else. Now, I'm not saying they were going up against the Chiefs starters.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that you cannot look at preseason and say this equals that. You just can't do it.
That's fair.
But some guys are going to look much better because of either A, their offensive line starters are in and they're not going against starters, or their offensive line is just better than the other guys. And Ty Simpson did look good. But I'm telling you, every pass he threw,
he had all day.
He had all day.
And I think big picture, whether it's preseason or not, like that's the key to this thing, right? Whether you got Ty Simpson, Deshaun Watson, Stafford, Pat Mahomes as your quarterback, they don't have an O-line, man. Those guys are going to be in trouble. I'm with you. I saw some of the highlights of Simpson. He looked impressive, but got to take it with a grain of salt because it's preseason, and we don't really know what the other team's doing and all that stuff. But you would rather have the guy look the part than not. That's always where my stance, right? If he comes out and flops in, the noise is a lot louder.
Yeah, I think I can admit that Deshaun Watson looked maybe a hair better than I expected. It doesn't mean that he's going to be great. It doesn't mean he's even going to be good. And even he's starting to even drop I got to get back into football shape. All right, guess I'll buy that a little bit. And the fact that he's got to get a little more awareness in the pocket and all that. But other than that, I thought he threw the ball pretty well. I mean, Shedeur did his stuff, but it's a little bit about what we expected. If they would absolutely look like garbage, we'd be trashing them. So the fact that they looked a little better than I thought, I'm actually going to say that and feel like there's a little bit of encouragement. No one is going to say that equals this.
Right.
But Dan Orlovsky commented on this, and he's been a Shedeur guy. And maybe now, even after one preseason game, he's ready to at least wave the white flag on whatever competition is there.
So I do think that there were a moment or two of rust, but if you just looked at the snaps as a body of work, Deshaun was clearly better in the game. And even though I've been sitting here pounding the table of like, start Shedeur because it makes more sense to start Shedeur, I did not find after preseason week 1 that it was all that close, off game.
Okay, that's fair. You know what else I thought? Because I agree with your assessment of what you saw from Deshaun. He looked like the more poised and veteran quarterback, and that's, to me, not a surprise. I think based off of all the work that he's put into his career, he should look at least that way in game number 1. But if I were a Browns fan, what was encouraging was, Denzel Boston's making a play. Casey's Concepcion's getting into the end zone. They're doing some creative things with him. I think that's the fun part of where the season's going to go outside of the quarterback position is these young guys adding to what they had built last year. But Judy had a nice grab. But I thought the Denzel Boston play on 3rd down, I believe, was a nice little highlight for him.
Yeah.
But also what Monken showed that he has planned for Casey Concepcion is very exciting. And so if you do have a quarterback, whether it's Deshaun or Shedeur, that's going to be able to consistently get the playmakers the rock the way that I saw Deshaun doing it. I think Monken's got some creative things up his sleeves ready to go with the guys that are in-house that are young and going to be a part of this roster for years to come.
Well, 43 of Deshaun's 126 yards was a dump off behind the line to Sampson.
Love it.
So
it's a dream if you're a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean.
Get that yak up, baby.
I mean, it honestly was. So do I look at the 11 for 15? I'm encouraged? Absolutely. Sure. That means he threw the ball accurately. Mm-hmm. He didn't throw a pick. He did get caught in the pocket with that lost fumble. But it was encouraging to see that it's probably his job to lose at this point. Mm-hmm. And, when Shedeur talked, I don't think he was excusing the pick away. He was just talking about how I did everything right but execute. And I'm like, okay, that's a little bit of a reach. Like my feet were good. I spotted the guy, made the right read, all that.
Sure.
But the key is
got to execute the play.
Yeah, we almost expect all the other stuff.
Right.
And so it was good, and it was good to see Deshaun and go through his progressions, and even Shedeur to go through his progressions and hit maybe the 4th guy. So I'm still clinging to the fact that they have something viable there. I was never a big fan of starting Deshaun. You heard me months ago, only because I didn't know what he could be enough for them to say we're going back in.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll make that decision if they start 0-4, and then they'll know whether they've got to make a move there or not.
I think both guys are going to play. I think both guys are going to play enough to get the answers that you're going to need. If you're Andrew Berry and you're Tom Monken. For Deshaun, I've kind of always believed he's going to start the season. I think I'll be surprised if he starts from game 1 all the way down. But based off what you saw, there's no denying that he's created a decent amount of momentum. I don't think this has stamped him as the guy. I think we'll get a similar week as far as practice and the game reps and all that stuff in the next preseason game. But when you're in the middle of a quarterback competition, the way that these two guys are, there's no doubt Deshaun helped himself for the weekend.
Yeah, I think he probably – because they're going to start Shedeur now against the Bills, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
All right, so now he's going to get a shot, and then it'll work itself out. There's some intrigue here. There's always been more intrigue for Browns fan because of where the investment's going to be. For me, it's not necessarily what this season could be, because I still think with either one of these guys playing quarterback, you're probably 7 wins at most, and that's probably the ceiling. It's more about, do you have something you can build upon? And to know that, they're both going to have to play.
Yeah.
A lot.
No question.
Unless Deshaun just looks so good that he never gives the job up.
Which is, and if that's the case, then that's all you worry about. If you're Todd Monken, you can't worry about Shedeur. If you got a quarterback that's cooking, continue to play him.
All right, we're going to come back in 2 minutes with our friend Brady Quinn. Big noon kickoff, and they'll have plenty of them this year. We'll get his analysis of the AP and more, and, of course, the Buckeyes next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
On this episode of Science Stuff, we're examining the fastest things on the planet, like the cheetah. It can reach a land speed of over... probably having an off day happens to everybody, but here is the American race car. People love the thrill of the... Okay, next up is the Falcon. Oh, all right. Great Caesar's ghost, what was that? Why, I think we've found the fastest... Let's watch in slow motion.
Hi, it's Alex, the friendly Apex...
It's Apex Pros, the pros who knows. They're the fastest thing on the planet. When you have a problem with your plumbing, furnace, air conditioner, or electrical system, Apex Pros gets to you faster than apparently everything. Leaves are blown from trees. Paint is stripped from buildings. Mothers clutch their children's hands. Because when you have something broken in your plumbing, HVAC, or electrical, you don't want to wait.
Columbus loves Apex Pros. ApexPros.com.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
Absolutely one of the best in the business. Homegrown. One of the great Golden Domers. Won the Maxwell. He's the nation's top player. And he's been doing his thing on air. Big noon kickoff for a while now. We welcome back our friend Brady Quinn. BQ, good to have you, brother. How's summer?
Summer's been great, but I'm ready for some football, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, we all are, man, especially when you see how many really good teams there are. Do you feel the same way I do, that it just feels like it's a little more of a cluster than in years past, or am I misreading this?
Well, I think there's, I would say, in my opinion, probably about 7 teams that I feel like can win a national championship this year. I think these 7 teams have separated themselves, and really the AP poll came out today, and they're the top 7, right? Obviously, Ohio State at number 1 seems to be the consensus no matter who you talk to. Oregon's right behind them, then Georgia, Notre Dame at 4, Texas at 5, Indiana at 6, Miami at 7. Almost every single one of those programs has a number of things in common. And with the exception of Miami, they all have guys who are starting quarterbacks who are returning, which that position has become paramount to anything else that you have on your right. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have it. And I know we've always said that with the game of football, but because of the transfer portal, because of NIL, you now have guys who would have exhausted their eligibility or have gone to the NFL or maybe an NFL caliber player that are choosing to come back and stay for another year. And Dante Moore is an example of somebody who did that. Arch Manning's an example of somebody who did that. And so you see this with a number of players where you're saying you're going to get as good a quarterback play as we've ever gotten. And the top teams are paying them. And obviously those guys have separated themselves in a big way. So the continuity for those schools with those quarterbacks, to me, gives them a leg ahead of every single other team out there we're talking about.
Let's stick with that theme, Brady, and let's lock in on Notre Dame because C.J. Carr's a guy a lot of people are believing in based off of what he showed last year. So when you look at him coming back in year 2 and you look at what Marcus has built throughout the offseason with guys coming in via the portal and guys that are already in-house, talk about this Notre Dame roster and why people believe they can get it done this season.
Well, I think the first thing is his talent. I mean, not that you take too much away from guys throwing T-shirt and shorts, but the one thing you can take away from the Manning Passing Academy, or even when you see guys at the Combine, is you see them both doing the same thing next to each other, and then you come away with an opinion of how you feel about them. And from everyone's opinion down there, they kind of said, "Hey, man, C.J. Carr was by far and away the best of any of the quarterbacks down there." So he's kind of got a leg ahead just from the overall talent standpoint. But I also think it's really what their roster is comprised of. If you look at what they've done this offseason, they've really stacked their wide receiver group. This is as good of a skill position group as maybe Notre Dame's had in a long, long time, maybe since 1988. And obviously they got a couple of Ohio State transfers, Mylan Graham and Quincy Porter. Porter, who's still been having nagging injuries that are keeping him out of camp. We'll see what the timetable looks like for him. But the biggest question mark for this team, who ends up being the starting five for the offensive line. They've got depth there and experience, but it just comes down to which five are starting where. And then the rushing attack. They lost Jeremiah Love, first-round pick, Jadarian Price, first-round pick. This is an offense that is going to emerge with someone as the highlighted back or maybe running back by committee. But I think the difference for this year is this is a team that's going to throw the football maybe a lot more than they have in the past because of the belief in C.J. Carr, but also just some of their best playmakers are on the outside of wide receivers. So, look, they've got a soft schedule. Everyone's talked about that. It's funny to me where no one's talking about the soft schedule that Indiana played last year, obviously before they went on to win a national championship. But I guess because of Notre Dame's schedule as of now, only playing 3 top 25 opponents, I guess that's the knock on them. But it doesn't matter what their schedule is. If they go undefeated and make the playoff, they'll be one of the scariest teams.
Brady, give me your expectations of Julian Sayin this year. He was 77% completion, 32 touchdowns, 8 picks. He looked his youth when they played Indiana in the Big Ten title game and Miami, certainly in the playoff. But he had an unbelievable year, Heisman finalist and all of that. Where are you with what he needs to be this year or what you expect him to be?
Well, obviously, he has to maintain his level of how he operates within the offense and the accuracy that he displays. I mean, he's one of the more accurate passers, really at all 3 levels throwing the football, and that was demonstrated by obviously the stats you just talked about, but also just who he's throwing to and giving those guys catch and run footballs. The thing there he needs to improve the most, and you saw it versus Indiana in the Big Ten championship, and in particular versus Miami, is how he handles pressure. When he gets a free runner, when he gets a pressure that starts to hit home, can he find a way of either diagnosing it and stopping it before it starts pre-snap, which, again, I would assume a second year starting within this offense will have a good feel for that, even though you have a new coordinator in Arthur Smith. But also, can he find some more elusiveness? Can he find a way of making a play, making something out of nothing? That's a requirement of the quarterback position, always has been, but it feels like in today's game now so more than ever, it's become crucial to be able to have a quarterback who can extend plays. So that's going to be the next step for him. Is I think a lot of people watched those 2 games, were able to implement similar rush patterns and ways of trying to pressure him or getting him to feel uncomfortable. And so now, how is he going to combat that? Because everyone's seen it. So now week 1, when you got to take on Texas, you better believe they're going to implement some of those same things they saw in your games versus Indiana and Miami last year.
Let's talk a little bit about Indiana, specifically Josh Hoover, Brady. Are you a believer that he's next in line to continue what Indiana's had under center over the last couple of seasons?
I actually think he's the most talented they've had. I talked to Kurt Cignetti at the Big Ten Media Days, and I said to him, tell me I'm wrong, but the film I've watched is him, this kid's got legit arm talent and maybe the best you've had. And he said, no, you're not wrong. He goes, now we've got to cut down on obviously some of the interceptions. And he goes, and he's not going to be throwing the football as much here as he was at TCU. But he said, we feel very optimistic about his ability to grow into the quarterback that we think he can be. And I think, Josh Hoover went there for a reason. I mean, it's not like at TCU there hasn't been a path laid forth by guys who've moved on to the NFL. Obviously, guys like Andy Dalton who's still playing in the NFL. But I think he wanted to go with a program that he felt like gave him the best chance to win a national championship. And then now really looking at what he did with Fernando Mendoza, who would have been a draftable quarterback before last year, coming from Cal. But I think if you look at the season he had, wins the Heisman, wins the national championship, the first overall pick, that's what he's trying to couple this year into. And I think he's got every opportunity to do so, especially with some of the additions that they've been able to make too at their wide receiver group to kind of build off what they had last year, but also bring in some new guys, some fresh blood, guys who I think can make a big impact for them. Obviously, Charlie Becker's back. He was outstanding in some big moments for them. But Nick Marsh, I mean, he's the transfer from Michigan State. He's the one that really stands out. Shaz Preston's a speedster from Tulane. He's a guy to keep a name about too. That should make a big impact for him in the passing game.
Yeah, listen, they lost a lot, but I don't think anyone's doubting his coaching ability. Well, give me your read on, because I think this is, unfortunately, Brady, I think this was bad for the college football fan to lose the potential of Indiana playing Notre Dame, right? They played in the playoff when Indiana was first coming onto the scene, and then that series goes away. What is your read on that? Did Cignetti not want that? Did Indiana cancel that? What is the read? Because I think we all lose, because I think that would have been awesome to have those two teams playing home and home.
It would have been awesome, but I think when you live in the world of a 12-team playoff, there's room for error, but not much. And I think with the Big Ten schedule that Indiana's got to play, they don't feel like they want to play anyone out of conference, that they don't have to. And so they can mark that down as 3 wins. And then you get into the Big Ten play, and you hope that if you're a Big Ten team, you don't lose more than 2 games. I don't know how confident they feel of being able to lose 3 and making it in, so that's the big concern. I think that's the same concern for a lot of teams, and we saw it with Texas and Notre Dame. So, look, Notre Dame's in a tough spot because if this thing doesn't expand to 24 teams, they're looking at a world where there might be a lot of schools, and especially some of the top schools, that said, yeah, we're okay. Like, everyone plays 9 conference games now. That's enough for us. I mean, look at what SC did, because they've struggled so much to really, whether it was the Pac-12 at the end or now the Big Ten, they've struggled to be able to make those conference championship games, although this year could be a different year for them. But it puts Notre Dame in a tough spot, where they've got a partial affiliation with the ACC. And I think one of the things that when we go back to the conversation about their strength of schedule, well, part of the issue with that is the fact that in the AP Top 25 today, the ACC only has 3 ranked teams. And look, they're playing the best in Miami. They're playing one of those top 7 teams. But the problem is the rest of the conference has really struggled. And they're kind of being left behind right now as far as the Power 4 goes, even in comparison to the Big 12 that has 4 ranked teams in the AP Top 25. And you look at a team like BYU is kind of holding the banner for them. But my point is, a lot of teams could group together and decide this and do this, and then put Notre Dame in a really tough spot. And so that's why I feel like expansion is something that's going to help Notre Dame in the future, but it's also going to help a lot of other teams play those games you're talking about. SC brings back that game in 2030 because there's an anticipation that they're going to expand at 24 by then. And if they do, you can get in with 3 losses. And that's what this ultimately comes down to, is we've taken away from what the holiness of the regular season has been for college football for so long by creating an expanded playoff. Now, unfortunately, we need to make it big enough where it's inclusive enough where teams aren't scared to lose some of those games to still be a part of playing for a national championship for the sake of having a playoff.
Yeah, great point, man. Supersize it to bring back the traditions of good games in the regular season. All right, my man. Rest up. It's almost here. We'll be talking to you along the way. Thanks for this.
Can't wait, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks. That's the one and only Brady Quinn, Fox Sports. Big noon kickoff right here on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We come back with Party Like a Roth Star on deck. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Fall is around the corner, so if replacing your windows has been sitting on your to-do list, now's the time to get it done, cross it off for good. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Buy 4 windows, you get 4 free, plus 48 months of 0% interest financing, same as cash. And, of course, they back everything up with their lifetime warranty. Call now for a free home estimate, 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY, and when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
When you renovate a home, you're going into full-time junk production.
How so?
The first stage of renovation is demolition.
We make that junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
When they begin installing the upgrades, a second mountain appears.
Construction scraps and packaging rise into the sky.
We make that mountain disappear, too.
All you have to do is point.
We make room for possibilities.
We make room for possibilities.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win, like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Common Man and Bob Capace here. So, Bob, you got this ring builder thing on your website.
Yep, you pick the diamond, the setting, customize your own engagement ring before you even come in this store.
I actually tried it.
You did?
It was ridiculously easy.
See, if Common Man can build a perfect ring online,
anybody can, because I'm dumb.
Then book an appointment and we'll help make it exactly the way you designed it.
That's why I always tell people, I know a guy. You too can design your own engagement ring with the ring builder at worthingtonjewelers.com. If I can do it, anyone can.
Worthington Jewelers, where Columbus gets engaged.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall for Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice, Orthopedic One. A couple years ago, I felt like I was breezing through life. I was tearing through rounds of golf, and it hit me. Excruciating hip pain. Hip that would not go away until I saw my friends at Orthopedic One. Then, bye-bye pain. So if you're dealing with constant pain or you suffered an injury, start with the specialist. Start at orthopedic1.com. There's no referral required, and there's several convenient locations in Central Ohio. Schedule your appointment at orthopedic1.com.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day. My sinks gurgle, they barely drain. The toilet overflowed. I plunge all day with no look. What's wrong with this commode?
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. All clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
It's high school football on the Fan.
Join Tyler Danberg and Coach Larry Wolf for the Capital Ford of Columbus High School Football Game of the Week.
This week, Olentangy Orange at Olentangy Berlin.
Live coverage starts Friday at 6:30.
The Fan.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Roth star.
All right, back at it. I really think we should have the same guy today.
It's
hard not to.
Yeah, I mean, he was a shoo-in for this. So please, paint the picture because this was bananas.
All right, so full disclosure, I did see him the day before this happened, not in person.
On your waiver wire.
I did see him on the waiver wire.
Yep.
And I'm not going to lie to myself. I didn't pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
But even if I did, I don't think I would have started him. I think I would have picked him up to stash him.
Wait and see mode.
And wait.
Yeah.
And I would have paid for it. Now, the good news is I got him anyway, but I didn't get any of what happened this weekend.
Yeah, man.
So if you guys, I know we're so close to college football season, football in general, there'd be no reason for a lot of people to pay attention to this unless you do play fantasy baseball. But I'm going to tell you that this may be, it probably is, the best debut in the history of the game.
It's got to be.
And
got to be.
So this kid named Joshua Baez, he's 23 years old. He plays outfield for the Cardinals. And on Saturday, he's at Wrigley. The only better place would have been for him to be at home. But the second best place would have been at your chief rival, at Wrigley, historic stadium and all that. And the first pitch he faces, he knocks out of the park. Now, we've seen that before, I believe. But the fact that this kid got his first 3 hits as home runs in his debut is
nuts.
No other play in MLB history has ever done that. And so he was promoted from AAA this season. I mean, he launched 34 home runs in AAA. And it doesn't look like he's going to have much trouble translating that power to this level. Now, he did go 0 for 5 the next day. And guess what happened? I did start him then.
Of course you did.
So, of course I did. Now,
the cooler.
The cooler. So, I'll tell you a little bit about Joshua Baez. So, in the MLB pipeline rankings, he was the Cardinals' number 3 prospect, number 59 overall. He's 6'3", 220.
Okay.
So, he's a big boy. He was drafted in the second round in 2021. He went to this high school or prep school in Massachusetts. He moved from the Dominican Republic to the U.S. when he was 11 and basically taught himself English. He was born in Boston. Then the family moved home to Santo Domingo, and then they went back to Dorchester and in this neighborhood of Boston when he was 11, learns English largely on his own, and in 2 years becomes an honor student at this competitive prep school, private school. And then he goes to this next-level baseball program. He should have gone to Ripple. And when he was 13, and he played on the 19 and under team. So he had a 4-homer game this year on the 3rd anniversary of his father passing away in the minors. And if you count all of this, so his 37 home runs across all levels this year, 34 at AAA and now 3 in the majors, would actually be tied for the most in baseball. Because Schwarber, I think, has 37. So he also hit one 473 and all. So Joshua Baez, he's on the team now. I will be starting him today in the doubleheader, I think, against your boys, against the Reds.
We start about 1:30.
So
I think the first game
let's get this kid back in gear. 1:40 at Cincinnati. The Joshua Baez show is coming to the Queen City.
He had to be in Party Like a Rock Star. He had to be. I mean, you talk about the day of your call-up. I mean, Friday morning, you wake up, you get a call from somebody. Hey, you're coming up to the show, kid. And then you have the day that he had. I don't know if you could hand the pen to a professional athlete and say, draw up the perfect day for you for a non-pitcher. 3 home runs, Wrigley Field, Friday matinee day at I mean, it was just all perfect for this kid. And us Reds fans, we were hurting seeing this because you look over in St. Louis and they got a nice little young core that they're cooking up. Yeah, so congratulations to him, man. That was absolutely special to watch. I'm not going to get carried away because it is preseason football. But AR, I'll tell you this, man. I caught some of those Drew Aller highlights, and I was like, ooh, that's pretty interesting. 10 of 13, a $153, 2 touchdowns in the game again. It's the preseason. They were going up against the Packers. I just think this situation for him is interesting, right? Because the former Buckeye Will Howard's over there scratching and clawing. Mason Rudolph still trying to hold on to an NFL career as a backup. But this is a guy clearly Mike McCarthy looked at on film and said, I can work with that. I can build this kid and maybe mold him into an NFL starter. And so when you're in the middle of a quarterback race with another guy to potentially be the guy next year when Aaron Rodgers retires, you want to have all the good performances you can in practice and in game. So I just think for Drew Aller, I was impressed with the efficiency, and he's always looked the part physically, right? 6'4", 6'5", 230, whatever it is. He just was never good in big games, or you can never really trust him in critical moments. But off to a good start in Pittsburgh. Again, preseason, don't want to get carried away, but he was partying like a rock star, AR. He looked good.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's better you did than you didn't.
Correct.
Right? I mean,
right.
No one's throwing you a parade, but it's better
than being 4 of 13.
Yeah, and it's better than people saying, well, he's a bust right out of the gate.
Against backups, too.
That's cool.
Yep.
I'll stay with baseball because I mentioned this kid, Matty, maybe a week ago, and I finally figured out how to pronounce his name.
Okay, what do you got?
Brandon Pfaadt.
There it is.
The pitcher for Arizona. So people saw this coming 4 years ago. He led the minors in strikeouts. They got him up to AAA. He worked with Doug Draback, who won the 90 National Cy Young Award. And Pfaadt was a 5th-round pick, so he wasn't a can't-miss kid. And Friday night, I did pick him up, and I did start him.
Okay.
And now I'm not getting rid of him anymore. Like, I cut him, and then I re-picked him back up.
Yeah.
And so 7 strikeouts, but it was the 7 shutout innings. Now, it's not just the one game. He keeps getting better. This was the 4th straight outing where he's worked in the 7th and allowed 0 earned runs. In fact, the last time someone scored one against him was all the way back in late July. So if you go back at Pittsburgh, 7 innings, no runs. San Diego, 6 2/3, no runs. Dodgers, 7 innings, no runs. At Atlanta, 7 innings, no runs. He's gone 33 1/3, giving up no earned runs. Like,
can't touch the man.
I mean, I know that and he's not a strikeout king.
Yeah.
He's a guy that just locates.
This is the contact.
And I love it because he spells his name Pfaadt, and it's Pfaadt. So, Brandon Pfaadt, keep partying like a rock star.
Last one for me, real quick. You know, there's certain games, certain series on your schedule that I believe are measuring stick games that I think players get up for more than others. And I think over the weekend, when the Milwaukee Brewers went out to L.A. to take on the Dodgers, I think they were juiced up for that one because they know that we're probably going to have to come back here if we want to go to the World Series. Brewers go into L.A., take 3 of 4 from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Right now, the Milwaukee Brewers have the best record in all of Major League Baseball. 77-48, 74-49 is the Tampa Bay Rays right behind them. So the scrappy Milwaukee Brewers, they just always find a way to be in the mix. You go into L.A., you take out Shohei and company, you take 3 of 4 from them, and the one game you lose was by a final score of 3-1. That's a hell of a weekend for them. So, Milwaukee Brewers out in L.A., partying like a rock star.
Last one for me, I'm just going to give it to the 26 baseball. I'm going to stay baseball the whole way. Might as well stay consistent. There were 26 legends that emerged from the cornfield at the Field of Dreams.
Yes, sir.
And just to name one guy, because you named Milwaukee, Paul Molitor was one of them who came out of there. And it was very cool for me to be able to look and see if I could identify these guys that I grew up watching, the Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton, Cal Ripken, of course, and Jim Thome was there. And listen, I don't know if there's anything cooler than watching them come out of the corn.
I love it.
If you're a Field of Dreams guy, it's a
good vibe.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, good vibe.
And I'll give it to them when they came out of the cornfield.
Good stuff. Your boy Schwarber hit 2 home runs in that game too.
Yeah, and he did it, I think, against Taj Bradley, who I also started, which I made the stupid mistake of starting a pitcher in the cornfield game. Why would you do that? How far is that corn?
You didn't. You
How far is the corn?
I think it was Major League.
Was it?
I think they put up the measure like 330 to right, 400 maybe.
Seemed pretty short.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's how far they were. I don't know.
All right, we're coming back with the floor is yours, top of the hour. So our number is 614-821-9710. Skyline gift card up for grabs. Call Big Mo next, and we'll throw you on. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If you miss a live show,
you can catch the podcast.
If you miss the podcast,
our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Hey, it's D. Miller. August is here and the kids are going back to school, but the parents are going back in time because at Low T Center, we're turning back the clock and bringing back the energy and vitality of your youth. If you've been dealing with low energy, low sex drive, or lack of motivation, those are all signs of low testosterone. So don't ignore it. Go to fixmylowt.com and book an appointment for your free T test today. And if you qualify for treatment, we accept insurance, so don't delay. Visit fixmylowt.com today.
Common Man here for my friends at Care Heating and Cooling. Summertime napping season is upon us. What's that mean? Well, that means for me, a little nap on the leather couch. I got the ceiling fan on, but if that AC's not working properly, that nap turns into crap. Am I right? You got to make sure that AC's in tip-top shape, and the only people to call are my friends at Care Heating and Cooling. The message on their homepage says, we care about your comfort, because they do. If you're not comfortable in your own home, they start to get itchy and scratchy. Here's what you need to know about my friends at Care. They've won the Lennox Centurion Award for 17 years in a row. Now, if you're not in the biz, you don't know what that is, but I'm going to tell you, it's given to the top 5% of Lennox dealers in the country each year. Their service techs are the best in the business, and there's not a problem they can't solve, except maybe the meaning of life. They had no answer when I asked them. But think about living without central AC. Mess you up. My friends at Care also have easy online scheduling. CareHeatingandCooling.com. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Your next getaway is closer than you think at your Columbus Zoo. Baby elephants, playful tigers, hungry giraffes. Explore North America Trek and discover rescued bear cubs, eagles, and more. Plan your visit today at columbuszoo.org.
Steve Air with USA Insulation. Let's do some quick math together. Your energy bill this summer, probably one of the highest you've ever paid. Now imagine that same bill all winter long. That's what you're going to be looking at if you don't fix your insulation. You can still get the best deal of the year. We foam your walls, we insulate your attic for free. that ends August 31st. You don't want to miss it. The installation pays for itself in energy savings. Call before August 31st for your free attic installation. 529-2440 or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Football season is here. Make sure your internet is ready. Kinetic's 100% fiber gives you the fast, reliable connection to enjoy live football on YouTube TV and watch up to 4 live games at once with Multiview. Check real-time stats and catch more big plays without missing a snap. Take your game watching to a whole new level. Switch to Kinetic. Save up to $120 on your first year of YouTube TV. Visit GoKinetic.com for details. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. Cancel anytime. Kinetic. Internet better.
Iconic summer moments deserve an iconic drink. Reach for Mountain Dew, an American original. From its beginnings in the foothills of Tennessee to your biggest summer yet. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since '48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Get 0% financing for 60 months on new 2026 Tucsons and Santa Fe's. Plus, make no payment for 90 days. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, not all will qualify. Ends 8/31.
Nothing annoys me more than wasting time. Scotty Vegas here, and I want to be golfing or playing tennis or betting on people golfing and playing tennis. I hate waiting on an oil change, but that's all changed. Krieger Ford, the car buying experience was amazing. The service, just as good. I left my Bronco in the driveway and easily scheduled an oil change at KriegerFord.com, and they even came right to me and changed it. All game changer, the Krieger Ford experience. Experience it at KriegerFord.com.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. For the first time since 2015, Ohio State football is ranked #1 in the preseason AP poll. Oregon follows at 2, then Georgia at 3, Notre Dame at 4, and Texas at 5. 6 Buckeye opponents are in the poll, and the Ducks, Longhorns, 6th-ranked Indiana, 14th-ranked USC, 16th-ranked Michigan, and 22nd-ranked Iowa. NBA per ESPN, the league found no proof that Clippers owner Steve Ballmer funneled money through team sponsors to pay Kawhi Leonard to avoid the salary cap. Leonard was dealt back to the Raptors on July 9th. Baseball, Guardians are off while the Reds host the Cardinals in a day-night doubleheader. Game 1 at 1:40, Game 2 at 6:40. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Open a savings account for the youth in your life with just $5 at BMI Federal Credit Union, and they'll put $100 into a youth certificate. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time for your calls on Rothman and Ice.
The floor is yours. Call the show right now. 614-821-9710. Whether you have a gripe.
I've never seen such incompetence.
Or some praise.
You're the best voice in sports radio, man, and I really mean that.
The floor is yours.
Come on!
Sponsored by Window Nation. Get 50% off all window styles plus no payments for 2 years. Visit windownation.com.
All right, back at it. Second hour of the program. Best call gets a Skyline Chili gift card.
Let's go.
Great place for lunch or dinner. And hang out as long as you want. Super fast. You can get in, get out quickly if you need to. Always run into somebody you know there. And if you're on the run, you can always pull into the Skyline drive-thru. Feeling good at Skyline time. Rarely do we bat the cleanup hitter first. But I think we're going to do it today.
We need instant offense.
We need a Joshua Baez type of situation.
A Kyle Shore. We need a leadoff dinger today. Let's get to it, man.
Is our boy Double D ready to go?
He's in the house.
Your dime, your dance floor.
Boys, can you hear me?
We can
hear
hear you.
My man.
I will say the professionalism of Big Mo is unmatched. I mean, I've talked to him once. He got my phone number, my email address, my social security number. I may actually have to stay on the phone today to win the Skyline gift card. So big shout out to Mo. I think TLC just got Wally pipped. So
Here we go.
anyways, boys, we are having a beautiful day in beautiful Delaware, Ohio today. And I will say I was having a great weekend with the family until the abomination of the franchise we call the Cleveland Browns decided to take the field on Saturday.
Did Big Mo just hang up on?
Did Big Mo
after he praised him?
Wait a minute, Big Mo hop on the air.
Did you
I
give
don't
him
know
the
what
hook?
happened. It just went away.
Your fellow Browns brother, you just hung up on him after
It
he
just
gave you
went
your
away.
flowers.
I don't know what happened.
First of all, I was missing something. I know the Browns aren't going to be that good, but should we rip them for this because of the because of the final score?
I don't.
Like, is anybody paying attention to the final score?
Maybe what's happening is there's a little bit of the, this is what life is going to be like
Who
without
we
Myles
got?
Garrett going on. Is that maybe part of it?
ESPN's headline reads, Deshaun Watson returns with awesome first half for Browns.
I thought he looked solid.
So
I
want to know about this abomination
I
that
do
he was
too.
talking about. I mean, Monken's kind of tipped his hand regarding the quarterback competition now at this point. We'll see. And by the way, Casey Concepcion, Davey Concepcion, could lead the Browns in catches this year.
I think they're going to find so many ways to get that dude the ball. Won't be surprised if he messes around and does some things on special teams, maybe in a punt and returner type of role. But you could see the vision in that first preseason game of this guy can catch end arounds. Maybe he can come out of the backfield and do some stuff, line him out wide, line him up in the slot. You have to take advantage of his versatility and his speed. And you saw that in the play he made getting into the end zone over the weekend. And so, yeah, man, that's what we talked about coming out of the draft. Boston and Concepcion. I like the idea of, hey, you got the big body guy in Denzel Boston, and then you got this guy in Casey Concepcion that could be the quick, twitchy guy, too. I think those guys have a chance to pair well off each other with their skill sets.
The Cleveland Browns are a professional American Football Conference team. They compete in the National Football League. I've affectionately nicknamed the Orange and Fudge on many occasions. All right, Big Mo, maybe you can get him back, but who's up now?
We got Scott in Grove City.
Let's go.
All right, Scott, the floor is yours, my man.
Good morning, or good afternoon, Rothman. And I'm so nervous. I'm talking to the best show on the radio. But Anthony Rothman, I'm 62 years old. I've watched you on TV. But selling so hard that AP poll versus the coaches poll, and you put a lot of effort into it, and you were excellent. But yawn, fall asleep. You know, who cares about the poll? But my goodness, you did a great job of keeping my ear to the old speaker. Have a great day, fellas.
Thanks, Scott. All right. I mean, job well done, I guess, if we kept your ear to the speaker. Listen, I even said, Scott, during that segment, Matt even heard me say, I'm like, I know we have to talk about it. Like, listen, Ohio State was mask 1-1. Like, they got them both. They're the hunted team now. There was no debate amongst the coaches and the writers who they think is the best college football team in the country. Forget about where everybody's kind of ranked. That's the lead. You cannot bury the lead in Columbus, Ohio, when the Ohio State Buckeyes are ranked number one preseason after not coming off winning at all. And a lot of these teams have dudes coming back like Ohio State does. And then you look at Ohio State's schedule. I actually think it's a tribute to the talent that they have and then the pressure they're always under to be the best. And I'm not saying if they were 3, it would be that big of a deal. But when you're number 1, there's something. We talked about Joel Klatt last week, putting Texas at 7. You don't think that, A, took a little pressure off the narrative of them, and B, probably lit a fire under them as well?
Probably. And in that same poll that Klatt had, he had, Michigan at 10, which we thought was pretty high. The AP poll that dropped today has them at 16. So, yeah, you don't ever want to get carried away with anything that's happening right now, whether it's the coaches poll, AP poll, preseason football. But for me, with the rankings, it's a framework of where we're headed. Nothing is solidified. Nothing is written in ink with this AP poll because we know what really matters is when we get those college football playoff rankings. But it takes a us inside the mind of the people that are obviously in this world, if you will, maybe more so than the casual fan. But all this stuff's going to take care of itself with the teams that were ranked inside the top 10 today. As Brady Quinn mentioned, he believes that 7 of them can win a national championship. So I like having those conversations around the AP poll and the rankings, maybe more so than, hey, this means that this team's going to win it all. This means, like, that's not the conversation we were having. But when you get the AP and the coaches poll, it's definitely something you got to talk about.
I actually think 7 was a pretty decent amount. Like when I asked BQ about, hey, it seems like a lot of teams, there are a lot of very good teams.
Yeah.
He kind of tempered it with, well, maybe. But then when he said 7, that was kind of in my mind. The only question I didn't ask Brady, which maybe we can get him, before the season again, and I'll get your opinion on this real fast, Matty, is there's got to be an outlier that's going to crash this party. There has to be one. And the one that jumps to my mind is maybe Ole Miss with Trinidad Chambliss. That I just feel like that's a team, like they have the firepower with him, and they've got a new OC, and I know their defense lost, but they're going to get a boost here. I got to look at their schedule again, but he did not mention them. He kind of went through the 7, and there are a couple that he didn't mention that are going to make problems for people.
Trinidad Chambliss is such an interesting guy for me this year, right, because of what he proved last year, that, yes, he can play at a high level, SEC level, all that type of stuff, but the size is a bit of an issue for him. And so as far as his NFL prospects go, can he really leap over some of these guys that we've been talking about due to that? So I think he's going to put forth a really, really good season. I think, again, they're going to be an exciting squad to talk about and watch. But his individual stats and all of that stuff, is he going to be able to accumulate enough of that to have the NFL looking at him and saying that's a guy that we believe in? I think he's got a chance to crack into that top 5, top 7-ish top quarterbacks around the country. And if he does do that, I think Ole Miss absolutely can make some noise down there, and especially the Ole Miss LSU back and forth. That game is when I know that they play each other this year. That is, talk about get your popcorn ready. That is going to be that game right there. And so Trinidad Chambliss and Ole Miss are going to be fired up for that one. And I just can't wait to see it, man, because on the LSU side of things, he's got Levitt, and on the other side of things, you got Trinidad Chambliss trying to prove that he can do it again.
He's got young receivers. They're going to have to step up because he loses Stribling and Harrison Walls the third. He loses his tight end. I'm looking at their roster right now. So as good as he is, they're going to have some young dudes that are going to have to step up.
Real quick, Ole Miss out of the gate, They will get Louisville at a neutral site game, and then week 3 is going to be that game at home against LSU.
Yep. All right, Big Mo, you got our boy back?
Yeah, so I bow down at the altar of Danny from Delaware because I don't, nobody puts Danny in the corner. I mean, really.
Well, not only in the corner,
nobody does.
Man. He's ripped your vocal cords out. I don't know what happened.
So, Danny, let me ask you this, because I think you were going down a path of not really loving what your Brownies did over the weekend. So what was that about?
The orange and fudge.
All right, so first off, Mo, you're fired. Second off, it's preseason. We don't get excited about the preseason. I mean, I think they need to just start fresh, cut everybody. They need to start Monken's boy, Taylen Green. That's who they need to be giving the shot to right now. Because Deshaun's gone after this year. He's not getting tuggies anymore, so he's not good. Shador's not good. Dillon needs to go to prison with Stefanski. I mean, they just need to blow this whole thing up. They need to start fresh. They need to give Taylen Green a shot, and we need to move on. It was one half of preseason football against the second line of the Gary Bears. I mean, for God's sakes, they don't even know where they're playing in the next couple of years. So I'm not going to give Deshaun any sort of credit whatsoever. But I will say, actually, I did want to give you guys a quick Country Club Carl update before I go. He was broken up on the last day of a $15,000 trip to France for a wedding. He got broken up on the last day. So I guess we can say his karma is served warm, just like a fresh pair of dirty drawers.
That's fair.
Before I leave, I did want to ask you guys as well, what is your favorite childhood sports memory? Mine is the O.J. Simpson Bronco chase. Have a day, boys.
That's what a fond memory you have there of that chase. Jeez. I was already in Columbus.
Oh, man.
Your childhood memory. First of all, the Country Club Carl thing, I need so many more details on that. Is he still going to Paris?
or were they there?
Is he going to stay at the Eiffel Towers by himself?
Yeah, we need more details. But
did he
help me
pay
with this.
for it?
Help me with this. You can't get excited about the positives, but you're allowed to crush them for the negatives in preseason. On the reaction scale. So you're allowed to go the other way, but
I
you
think
can't.
he's afraid there's been a little too much hype, and he needed to take the TNT to it. Honestly, I think blow it up.
I'm with him that you don't need to get carried away, but I think showing him a little love for him performing well is not a bad thing to do.
All right, we'll figure out who wins the gift card or if we have any more calls next. And the guy that's been trolled all week, how to kill a PR campaign, he should be the guy you call. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio.
Bring bold flavor to every cookout with Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
At iBank Distillery Co., you'll find incredible food, handcrafted cocktails, and now expanded gluten-free menu options across all 3 Central Ohio locations. Happy hour with friends, brunch with family, dinner that never misses. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at Highbank.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. When your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, all you got to do is make sure you do your homework. There's a lot of doctors that are going to try to force you under the knife, and they're going to force you for a joint replacement. But remember this, once you go and start putting hardware in there and you replace a joint, there's no going back. I've had multiple surgeries. I have hardware in my body. I don't want to do it again. And that's why I went and saw my friends at QC Kinetics to get a second opinion. I had some knee pain. It was bothering me. I went and talked to Dr. Tesner and his team about how they were going to use the regenerative treatments to help my body heal itself. It's unbelievable. It's great. They'll start with a consultation. They'll show you the healing tools. They'll show you what to do. Surgery is your choice, your body. You need to take care of it. So call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion. The consultation is totally free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Bowling is my sport. I'm a bowling warrior, but my plantar fasciitis hurts so bad. I felt like I didn't want to bowl anymore. I was devastated.
This is Lori, and this is her Good Feet story.
I was in constant pain for over 5 years because I was constantly trying to find something to help me feel better, and I wasn't getting it done. But then I found happiness at the Good Feet store and my Good Feet arch supports. With these arch supports, my game is fabulous, and I'm not thinking about my feet anymore. I'm just knocking pins down.
For over 30 years, the Good Feet store has been helping improve the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time.
Outside of bowling, I still wear my arch supports. They fit my vibe, my energy. I know my feet are going to be supported. I know I'm going to be balanced. It allows me to do anything with ease. I don't even think anymore about my feet. I really just say, what's the next door I can open?
See how we can help you with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
What defines Ohio? A place that dares to go first and never looks back. There's no slowing us down. At Jobs Ohio, our mission is clear. Strengthen job opportunities and empower Ohio's workforce. Another reason why Ohio is now ranked the #1 state for business by CNBC. This is what unstoppable feels like. We did it together, Ohio. Our time is now. See Ohio's momentum at jobsohio.com/Ohio's time.
Gear up this fall with the new All-Pro battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power. And a fast charge time of just 10 minutes means it's ready when you are. The All-Pro battery is just the upgrade your shed has been waiting for. Outperform the outdoors with battery tools by Steel. Exclusively available only at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power. Comparison between AP300PC and AP300S. 10-minute charge time to reach 80% with AL1602MO.
Your favorite fan shows are available as a podcast. What a concept.
And don't miss exclusive podcast content like Austin and Byrne.
Listen on your schedule from anywhere in the world.
Available wherever you get your podcasts. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For the afternoon, some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms do remain possible. Otherwise, more clouds than sunshine, humid, highs in the lower 80s. Overnight, mostly clear skies develop. We'll watch for some areas of fog. For your Tuesday, morning fog, then mostly sunny and somewhat less humid, highs around 81. For the Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Hitting a hole-in-one into your ear hole. Ew. This is Rothman and Ice.
Oh, there's such a fine line. There's a tightrope to be walked when you are a famous athlete and you feel like there's a chance that people either are not giving you your due or that you're being taken advantage of. And all that, and you just have to take a step back and just decide, is it worth it? Are you really being disrespected? Is this about whether or not you should have been asked, that it's basically you have to give permission, and then this thing has gone off the rails. And if you guys haven't heard, it's Jaden Daniels, the quarterback of Washington, and the dispute started after LSU let this sophomore defensive back wear his number 5, as he was promised when Brian Kelly was there. So that's another question. Are all promises go away when things change with the coach?
Yeah.
This is kind of like Rudy was promised he was going to get to dress for a game, and then when the coach changed, when Ara Parsegian got promoted to the NFL and Dan Devine came in, guess who wasn't dressing? It was Rudy. So his camp was so unhappy that the school gave the same number to another player. Now, here's the other problem with it. His mom is his agent, I believe.
Yep.
And so now it's a whole family affair. And in this case, number 5 was never really retired by LSU. So, I mean, Billy Cannon, 20 is the only number that can't be given to another player. And the other retired jersey numbers can still be used in certain situations if the head coach allows it. Now, a lot of times when you have a legendary player and a guy who wants to use it, or someone that wins the Heisman, which would be the big one, they get a blessing. You get that player to get his moment. I'm going to give you my number. Now, I think, I've said this before, it puts that player in a very, very awkward position anyway. You either take it off his plate, because nobody wants to be known as the guy that says, no one can wear my number. Right. The school should say it, and then Jaden Daniels could sit back and say, hey, I'm just going to follow what LSU wants to do.
Me, player.
But because what's Jaden's really option here? To do what he did and to now look really arrogant and petty and foolish and just not for his school and all of that, and that now he's telling LSU to cease and desist. And, listen, he won the Heisman. No one's taking that away from him. Seeing another player wear his number is clearly difficult for him. For guys like Michael Irvin, he's always said he loves it. He loves seeing CeeDee Lamb because every time he catches, they always compare him to me anyway. If not, the number kind of goes away. So,
and that number has got to be handed down from Jerry, right? I believe, based off of what I've heard, that you can't just be a wide receiver going in there saying I want 88. And so, the Jaden Daniels thing, when I saw it initially, I was like, this can't be real, because why does he care about this right now? If I'm a Commanders fan, I'd be a little concerned. Nothing's going to come into my brain and think that, he's not going to be ready to go for the season or any of that. But in the middle of training camp, your mind is elsewhere, and it's not focused on the job at hand. So that whole situation is strange. What I think is a little odd is Joe Burrow was asked about this over the weekend after their preseason game. And he said that he's been told by LSU that no one can wear number 9. And so I can understand why Jaden Daniels is frustrated about this, if that is true what Burrow said, and who am I to not believe what Burrow said since he freaking went there and had an all-time season in 2019. But if that's true, AR, I do find that a little odd. That shouldn't be the case. Both guys did incredible things there, with Burrow winning the Natty and the Heisman and all that. And then you look at Jaden Daniels here that led to the Heisman. He was absolutely special. So I do think it should be equal for both. So if they're telling Joe Burrow that we're not going to have anyone in your number, then I think the same thing should be granted to Jaden Daniels, unless their rule is if you're a Natty winner, then that's going to separate the two of them. I don't know, but I think that was a little strange. Did you find that odd that Burrow said that?
Yeah, I do. I also find it, I think you need to get into the real crux of it, which is what was Jaden promised? What was his family promised?
Yeah.
Was there a promise? And did Lane Kiffin decide that this was on him, that he wanted this guy who he deems as a very good player and a sophomore cornerback to wear the jersey? And it doesn't seem like this was an oversight. It doesn't seem like this was a, hey, our bad, we didn't know.
Right.
Like, so the whole NIL stuff and the fact that they don't want LSU, I mean, it really ruins everything. Honestly, it would be like if, let's go way back in time. Let's say they never asked Archie Griffin for permission for Andy Katzenmoyer to wear 45. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly it showed up at a practice. Now, I wouldn't expect Archie Griffin to do that even in this era. Jaden is so fresh out of this, right? There's so many years that have passed since Archie starred in that number. But he is 45, and he allowed other people to wear, allowed Andy to wear it and wear it proudly. So I don't know if I can compare the two. You would have to have someone. It's almost like if they were to promise Troy, at the time. And
that 10 is off limits.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Ring of Honor is what protects you forever. Mm-hmm. The Ring of Honor. It's your name and your number. It's not necessary. I know guys have a real affection for their own number, and I find this I really would like to get to the point where I know what he was promised. Because when I read this statement, it was very vague to me. It said Jaden and his family had every reason to believe that his number would remain a meaningful part of his LSU legacy, and he would be honored and protected in recognition of his extraordinary contributions to the university. So, listen, this kid wore number 3 last year.
DJ Pickett.
Yeah, he was a freshman All-American.
Yep.
He led him in picks and all the tackles, and when he showed up at number 5, in a weird way, it's kind of honoring. This guy doesn't even play the position of quarterback.
So here's the statement from Jaden Daniels over the weekend. I've been locked in on training camp, and that's been my number one focus. There's a question. I have a lot of gratitude for my time at LSU, and I'm proud of what my teammates and I accomplished there. Obviously, there are issues to be worked out between my team and LSU, and my hope is that this will be done privately. So I think what you touched on is he's calling them out, I think, for going back on their word. I think he heard from somebody along the way that, hey, number 5, that's all you, Jaden Daniels. We're not going to allow anybody to touch it. Maybe it is who you brought up. Maybe it is Lane Kiffin. He likes to come in, do his thing. He doesn't really care about what anybody thinks. And so maybe this door got opened up because of him. So hopefully this does become a thing to where this can just calm down the waters and the volume can get turned down on this. Because if you're LSU, you want this guy and Joe Burrow. You want to be able to put those names on the marquee and feel proud about it and have those guys feel good about coming back and doing all the things that alum do. And so this is a first for me. How would this have landed for you if Jaden Daniels would have said, hey, DJ Pickett, in this NIL world, hey, I know you got a little money. Hey, you want my number? Pay for it. How would that have landed for you if he would have played that card?
It's just as bad. It's just as bad because of the riches that he's going to be getting anyway. Like, this is not truly about money, for Jaden.
No,
this is about
I agree.
Arrogance and respect, if you can combine those two together, ego and respect. Mm-hmm. But I keep coming back to forget about his ego. They all have them. Why wouldn't they? It's what was he promised? Was he promised that his number would not be given to another player And were those wishes were not respected?
I think that's exactly what we're looking at here. I think based off his response, I don't know if I can look at it any other way. And then social media just went crazy.
He's getting
just
trolled
by
death.
everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mets threw out a post saying, stop that 4 out of respect for Jaden Daniels. I mean, you got political people tweeting out stuff about the Pentagon. I mean, lead singer of Maroon 5, Adam Levine, announced that the band will be changing its name to Maroon. Yeah. Jaden Daniels is the rightful owner of number 5. And so, like you teased going to break, he's been trolled by everybody. So they need to figure this out ASAP. That way LSU and Lane Kiffin can go about their way this season, and Washington and Jaden Daniels can worry about ball and ball only.
Here's the problem for Jaden. He can't come back now and say, I'm good, let him wear it. Like, I don't think honestly, if he comes back and says, listen, I thought about it, and I'm going to be the bigger man and let him wear it, I don't think he gets enough points for that PR-wise. Like, he's dug in now. Like, he's basically saying, LSU, you played yourself. You screwed me, and now I'm not your –
yeah.
You guys are – that's it. You can't use me. You can't I'm not going to help you get recruited.
What do you think's going to happen? You think DJ Pickett's wearing number 5 when they play Clemson week 1? I don't think he is.
I think they can go to DJ Pickett and say, would you be okay with changing, and you'll be the bigger man. You're an All-American. And
yeah. I don't think he's wearing 5 when they play Clemson week 1.
So you think they're going to bend the knee to Jaden?
I think so.
Yeah. I think what's going to happen is Lane Kiffin's going to have to fall on the sword.
Probably.
And give some bologna sandwich about how I was not aware of this promise. All wrongs have been righted. Like, honestly,
I agree, but I'm not going to buy him saying he didn't know, because I think he probably told DJ Pickett, go ahead.
I'm not saying he didn't know Jaden wore number 5. What I'm going to say is he didn't know that this was cemented, and then when one of my players asked if he could wear it, I thought we were going to wear it to honor Jaden, and my heart was in the right place.
Okay.
That's what he's going to say.
Okay.
We'll come back in 2 minutes with our friend Adam King of 10 TV. Would he allow anyone to use his microphone? We'll find out. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
When it's time to replace your roof, siding, or gutters, trust matters. That's why homeowners across Central Ohio have voted Newman Roofing City Scene Magazine's best roofing company 5 years in a row. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
How many of you have had your garage floor done? I'll wait for the answer. Yeah, that's enough. How many of you think it looks like crap? That's because it is crap. One quick call to Comer and Cross Concrete Floor Coatings at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they can install a gleaming new Comer and Cross garage floor in 1 day. A Comer and Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. And here's the best part. It is guaranteed your garage floor will never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And listen, you lazy bum, they'll even take the stuff out of the garage for you. They're all certified uniform pros. No subcontractors at Comer and Cross. This is a premier product with premier results, and they hired a premier endorser to tell you about it. For your quick and easy Comer and Cross garage floor quote, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR now. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to comercross.com, C-O-M-E-R cross.com.
Prepare for cooler weather ahead at your local AAA Tire and Auto Service. Their fall maintenance package includes an oil change, tire rotation, windshield wiper replacement, and more for just $119.99. Offer valid through August 31st. See store for details.
Common Man and Timmy here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Mikey, there's so much fun this month. It's just fantastic.
We've got Sun-Kissed Summer Saturday drawings where you can win up to $500 in pen cash, plus all-you-can-eat crab legs still going on.
You mean the Canadian snow crab legs, corn on the cob, and Hawaiian rolls every Tuesday?
Of course. Plus the last Saturday in the month, play the Queen's Gamble for a chance to win up to $5,000 in pen cash.
$5,000? Must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, back at it. And look at this. We're gone and you're there. Adam King of 10 TV.
What up, AK?
It's a lonely studio, is it not? I don't know. You sound like you're in a hole.
Turn
now.
your mic up, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
There you go. There we go.
Where are you guys?
We're at the house that Scotty Vegas built. What do you mean?
It's lonely over here. I'm in Rothman's chair. This is nice.
Oh, my God.
I'm really getting comfy over here. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, listen. Cease and desist on that.
Oh, okay. I'm
you
sorry.
need my permission to sit in that chair.
Are you
Jaden Daniels style?
You team Jaden Daniels or team LSU, Adam K?
I think Jaden Daniels is absolutely ridiculous. Well, one of my favorite things, I believe, was Michael Irving that said, I like when players wear my number because if they make a great catch, they say he's catching like Michael Irvin. And if they drop the catch, they would say Michael Irvin would have caught that pass.
Yeah.
That's
all right, I understand because I'm with you. I feel like it comes off as he's a star in the NFL, and for him to be this petty over one guy wearing his number. But I keep coming back to this because I believe in all walks of life this should happen. What was he promised? If he wasn't promised anything by anybody that matters, then, okay, you lose on this one, and then LSU has to wear this bad PR thing. But if he was promised, and Lane Kiffin did it anyway, then I think he's got a gripe here. It's bad that it got out like this.
Wrong.
Because that's so you think even if it was promised,
I think
this is bad.
It's a new world. It doesn't matter. If Lane Kiffin wants to, they didn't retire his number. If they retired his number, if it was in the rafters, then that's one thing. Move on. The other idea that people are comparing him to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow won a national title. That's a whole different level of being in royalty of a college. So I don't want to hear that they're on the same level. It's just the stupidest argument of all time. Just who cares? Like, why are you going back to your old school and saying, I'm unhappy, this is ridiculous, that guy shouldn't wear my number? It's not your number. There's only so many numbers. If every great player, we're going to run out of numbers. And so, I mean, what are we doing here? What's the caveat for retiring a number at that point? Defensive players can't win the Heisman, so you never have to worry about that with defense, I guess.
I think he's looking for the same respect that Joe Burrow's getting. Because
he didn't win a national title.
Well, here's what I'm saying. I hear you on that. Burrow did come out and say, though, AK, that he was told that no one can wear 9. And so he's probably thinking, both of us won a Heisman. Yes, he won a natty, but I'm in rare air as well. So why are you telling him that no one can wear 9, but someone can wear 5? I think that's the hang-up here, that there's a little bit of the bruising of his ego because of that.
Jaden Daniels is not Joe Burrow. It's not the same.
He's not now, but that year at LSU, he was a one-of-one guy.
No,
that year.
He is the equivalent of like. Well, no, I'm trying to think of guys that, even Johnny Manziel, when he went to Texas A&M, turned their program in a new world because they beat Alabama. Like, Joe Burrow showed up and he was everything to Louisiana. He was everything to LSU. He was the biggest star in the state. That was not Jaden Daniels.
I don't see your natty argument, and I'll tell you why.
I don't care. I don't see you. Where are you? I can't see you. So
look at the YouTube. You'll see us. It'd be like saying to Eddie George, you didn't win a natty, so you have no argument. Like, what if they would have done that to him? Like, what if, you know what I mean? Like, what if, 27? What if he was promised the 27 wouldn't be worn? Like, I don't know if the Heisman Trophy is the ultimate individual accomplishment. Mm-hmm. And I'm not telling you that he looks good. I think this is a nightmare for him. And rightfully so. What I'm saying is, I want to know who's really at fault here.
Nobody.
You're blaming his ego. I want to know if LSU has something to blame here. Were they because if it was just a loose promise of, one day you'll be up there, no one will wear it, then that's not enough. But I agree. If you're going to err on the side of who looks worse, he does.
Rothman,
but I'm not going to exonerate LSU completely.
I am. This is ridiculous.
But how can you do that without knowing whether they promised him?
I don't care. I don't care. There is one way in the world that we retire jerseys. We have a ceremony, and you hang the jersey up in the rafters, and everybody claps.
So until that happens, anyone can wear it, is what you're saying.
And if somebody wants to wear Joe Burrow's 9, that's fine. And if Joe Burrow wants to get upset about it, well, then you should call LSU and say, let's start retiring numbers. But until that day, I look over at Ohio State. I don't know if you know this or not, but the guy that's going to play quarterback this year, he wears the number 10. The last Heisman winner for Ohio State wore the number 10. So I don't know. It's the stupidest argument. People just want to be angry, and I hate that. Okay,
I don't think it's angry. I think it's somebody wanting to be respected for the work that they put in, and I don't.
It's not
have
disrespect.
A problem with that.
It's not disrespect. How is that disrespect?
I think it can be disrespect if the other guy was promised.
That's all.
Something. That's how I think it can go that way. If he wasn't promised the same thing as Burrow, then I can't back him. If he was promised the same thing, then I'm going to back Jane Daniels in this.
But here's why my gut tells me that I'm going to lean your way, Adam. This is what I'm going to say, because when I read the statement, it sounded like Jaden made it clear he didn't want anybody else wearing it. I don't know if he has the power to say that, because in the back half of that statement it said, and he believed his wishes would be respected. That makes me believe that somebody did nod and handshake with him, but it was his request. It's usually the program that says, hey, we're going to retire your number. No, we're going to have a ceremony. We'll work out a weekend where you could be here for it. It'll go up in the rafters, and that'll be it. Somebody dropped the ball here, and he does look petty. I'm not going to tell you he doesn't. He looks it got out. He didn't want it to get out, and now he's being trolled pretty good. But I don't know if it is his decision. When I read that thing, Jaden made it clear. I don't even know what power he really had to do that.
I think it's just embarrassing. You know what? One of the best things that you can do if you're a great player is just pretend like it doesn't matter. Like, do you think any great player is walking in to a jersey retirement going, finally, this is how it should be, thank you? No, they walk in and they say, wow, what an honor. Did I need this? No, but what an amazing honor. The idea that you need some...
I don't know. I think you're underestimating some egos. I think you're underestimating some egos of some of these. I think there are guys that really do care about that individual achievement and seeing that number retired.
Nobody's taking away his achievement.
No. I understand that, but I think there are certain guys that do care about that. I'd be surprised if across the board all these guys are just like, I don't think that's the case, AK.
I think that 99% of the numbers that are retired, we all understand why they're retired. The other 1% is Shedeur Sanders. And with that, it is people are just fine. Like, it shouldn't be this big of a deal. You don't. You're a Heisman winner. It doesn't get any bigger than that in college football.
Yeah. And I'll agree with you on this. When that number's thought of, just like when certain numbers at Ohio State are thought of, everyone's mind goes to a certain player in your brain. You don't have to think about it. Mm-hmm. And all Jaden Daniels probably had to think of is, I'll be the best that's ever worn that. That's all he had. Plus, this guy doesn't even play quarterback. Like, that's the other thing. Now, that may have been an ultimate sign of disrespect if the kid played quarterback, or if he's an incoming recruit and you handed him 5 and he hadn't earned it yet. Mm-hmm. That's that part I would have a problem with. But the fact that he's a DB, like, if I had to pick a side, I'm going to say, okay, I'm not on Jaden's side. I would not recommend this to him.
Real quick, AK, I asked AR before our last break, DJ Pickett, because that's the kid involved in this, when they play Clemson week 1, is he in 5 or not?
Yeah, for sure. That's his number.
I think he's going to wear a different number.
No, that's his number. I think that's the stupidest thing in the world. You can't change a kid's. Like, no, he didn't. He plays defense. It's not even the same thing.
I know it isn't. I think Lane Kiffin could come out and say there was some miscommunication.
Oh, my.
I'll fall on the sword. And we want to honor our greats of the past, and
our greats of the past. His greats of the past play at Ole Miss in Tennessee. He doesn't care about Jaden Daniels.
Well, that's probably why he did it.
His greats of the past. I mean, what you think that Lane Kiffin wanted to walk in to LSU and go, boy, we need to make sure we honor the history that is here in Baton Rouge? No, he walked in and said, what a nice paycheck. I'm going to lose 3 games and hope I keep my job.
All right, we'll see who wins this battle. Pickett, Team Daniels, or Team Kiffin, or Team LSU, or whatever, because there's football to be played. All right, my man, turn the lights out on the way out. We appreciate you.
Hey, did my open run? I don't
think so.
I didn't hear the Adam Kingdoms.
No.
It was because Cole's not here.
See, now it's another thing. I'm fired.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We had a caller fire him a couple of seconds.
Why did the caller fire him?
They hung up or
off the
something.
air.
I don't know what happened.
Booted him.
Listen, I just want you guys to know that this has been the worst segment we've ever done because you guys abandoned me. And it looks like you're at a Chili's. Where are you?
That's Reed Fragel right there, former Buckeye.
Yeah, he's on
right
deck.
Here. He's on deck.
He's on deck, ready to go.
Yeah, we're going to bump you for him.
All right, do your thing.
Tell Reed I said hello.
Adam King says hello, Reed.
We are at it.
Take us to break.
We're not at Chili's. We're at Medallion.
Coming up after the break, Reed Fragel going to join Rothman and Ice wherever they are. This is Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Common Man here. Right now, buy 4 windows, get 4 free in 48 months with 0% interest, same as cash. Restrictions apply. Call 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
When your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, you better do your homework. Once a joint is replaced, there is no going back. Hi, it's Tyvis Powell. Before you schedule surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to Dr. Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatment to deliver relief to patients like you here in the Columbus area. If you're a good candidate, they'll concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right on the spot that actually causes the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off surgery, or in some cases, even avoiding it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option before making a decision that can change your life. Don't just accept surgery as your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation are totally free. Go to QCKinetics/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
This year, I'm going back to school. At My Computer Career, I'll get the skills and certifications I need for a great career in months, not years. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take their free career evaluation today. It's never too late to go back to school.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Do You feel that? The season is getting closer. Buckeye football comes your way in 19 days. Every game, every season. Proud to be your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by KDHVAC, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Truth of the matter is, you're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
All right, welcome back in. We are at the MC Charity Classic Medallion Golf Club. All proceeds 100% to the James Cancer Hospital. Buckeye Cruise for Cancer leading the way. And one of the guys we love to catch up with, I even got a Mr. Rothman from him, which makes me feel really old, but I did cover this man, the big man from Grosse Pointe, Michigan, came down, crossed border lines, came down here to be a blocking tight end, kind of. You were going to a pass-catching tight end, but Ballard was here. Yep. Stoneburner was kind of our catching tight end, and you were big enough and good enough, and then you went through this trifecta of coaching changes from Tress to Fick to Urban. And then, so set the record straight for us, Reed Fragel. Did Urban say, I need you on that line, big boy?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me out today, guys. It's always good to catch up. But yeah, that was an interesting transition there from Coach Fickle to Coach Meyer there. And yeah, it was kind of a mutual understanding. I knew how Urban's offense is operated as the tight end position. Running 60-yard fade routes was not in my repertoire at 280 pounds. So Coach Mick and I got together that offseason, put together a plan, put on about 30 pounds. And it was a crazy time, but it's one I look back on often and have a great memory of.
That's awesome, yeah.
So when you look at where the team is now, right, because they're trying to get off the mat, the whole Indiana-Miami game and that unit that you played, the offensive line, that was a big talking point coming out of those games. So let's go back before we go forward. What did you see as a former offensive lineman thinking about the Indiana game, the Miami game, and why just up front it looked and felt like, Reed, that they weren't cohesive and on the same page as they wanted to be?
Yeah, that's a great point. I think, looking at last year's season, the first 12 games they went 12-0. Gave up 6 sacks, I think it was. And then those last 2 games giving up 10 sacks. I mean, that right there was the Achilles, I think, to the end of the season there. So you see guys getting different looks that maybe they didn't get all season, that obviously teams will hide until those last couple games. And they really just didn't know what to do. So I think when I look at practices early on here in camp and you look at that unit that's kind of ever-changing and Coach Day's trying to figure out who his 5 are, I think time is of the essence going into this season because you have one of those Indiana games right up front versus Texas week 2. So you have 1 week to figure that out, and then week 2, the time is now.
To go, yeah.
So I think just looking at it's still early, there's still time, but I think just figuring out who your left tackle is, if Serveld's going to be at the right guard position, Ian Moore at left, I think that's how it'll unfold. But I think that is the biggest question mark right now, is just getting that set and then let those 5 go be cohesive and be a unit and start figuring out these reads that they need to get ready for Texas. So
yeah, I mean, Reed, if they stabilize the tackles, then that gives them some versatility with the interior, right? Then you got guys that that could have a presence there.
Right.
Josh Padilla, somebody that might be able to. It's so interesting to me because we can't scout offensive linemen. We can you block or not, right? And so ultimately, though, the offensive line is going to determine how great this offense can be.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's just to what we were talking about there. I think those last 2 games, the success of the season will depend on the O-line. So that's why I think it's the utmost important coming out of camp. I mean, you got these other position battles, running back. I think whoever lands the RB1 spot, we're going to be fine. The wide receiver position, the same thing. But I think the biggest question mark that needs to be answered is who is your starting 5, and it needs to be sooner than later.
How are you feeling about Arthur Smith coming in as the OC and getting on the same page with Coach Day? Based off what you've seen from Arthur in the NFL, the talent that's here in Columbus, what are your thoughts on building that offense and getting that going here in a few weeks?
Yeah, I love him. I think his philosophy of run first, he'll be run heavy on offense. I like that as an offensive lineman. I think the Slobbits, as we used to call ourselves in the O-line room, I think they'll love it too. I think you just get to stick your hand in the dirt and kind of like play some trestle ball, I think, is kind of how I see it. Obviously, with some enhancements on that. But I think I'm excited about it just based off the unit they have. Whoever those front 5 are, they're going to be some road graders. I think they're going to be fitting the mold of that Arthur Smith offense very well. And then they're going to have the two-headed, 3-headed backfield that's going to support it as well. So, and then, I mean, we're not even talking about the wide receivers yet, but then once you start grounding and pounding for so long and wear a team down, then you see those exciting home run shots, the JJ and Chris Henry Jr., Brock, what's his name, the freshman there, Brock Boyd. They have so many weapons that I think that front five, once the run game gets established, will open up, and it'll just be exciting to watch this offense all season.
Yeah, so did you care, or should they care, that they're number one in both AP coaches? Did you guys ever – I know rankings are interesting preseason, but they are the team to beat, according to the writers and the coaches. And so what does that mean to them in that locker room? I guess it all shake out week 2 anyway.
Yeah, I really don't think they're looking at that at all. I think that's expected going into this season. I think everybody knows the offense that they have, the defense that they have, guys coming out of Alabama. I mean, they look scary on paper. I think that was to be expected. So I really don't think they're looking at that for if they were to come out at number 2. I don't think it would have changed a whole lot. Maybe they put a little bit of a target on their back by being number 1, whatever you want to call that, for the locker room material. But I really think the focus is so much on week 2, not to overlook week 1. You have to win that first game. But I really think that is the timing that they're trying to hone in on here, Coach Day and the staff, establishing that front five. I think they're so focused on that Texas game that nothing else it's all just noise.
Yeah.
As a guy born in Michigan, played at Ohio State, what are your thoughts on Kyle Whittingham, Bryce Underwood, the vibe coming out of their camp of toning down maybe the hatred? Bryce Underwood comes out and says, hey, just another game. You know, for us, your thoughts as a former player on the other side? Well,
at first, you scratch your head, right? Because I think everybody at Ohio State gets it. I think we all understand the game. I think if you've gone through it and played it, especially, you get it. So I think just hearing somebody that's been an outsider to that rivalry for so long, the quarterback saying that was kind of even more of a head scratcher. But I think Coach Whittingham saying that, you know, maybe it's just him trying to not give their boardroom material, locker room material for the team, which I can respect that. But I think he's crazy if he thinks it's just another game. And he thinks the guys are going to revolve around that and react to that the same way, because I think those guys that have played in the game know it's not just another game. You can't say one thing and have the players go through it and live it and then be like, oh, snap your fingers. It's no longer a special game. I think it's just once it becomes ingrained in you, it's hard to just treat it as another game.
It feels like as the rivalry oscillated a little bit, the team that was on the wrong side always maybe tried to find answers, and sometimes those answers were to tamp down the pressure or take away certain things and try to get your mind around it, because it can weigh on you, and it's weighed both ways recently. And so, yeah, you never like to hear somebody try to normalize it.
Right.
And when you do, it comes off as a little weak, and it comes off as disconnected from what it is. But I guess the bottom line is whatever makes you play better, I guess, is the way to go. But,
yeah, I think, I have flashbacks in my own head as we even talk about this. Just, the mat drills that we had, and Coach Mick, every single station had something. We had some kind of tie to that team up north. So I think just living and breathing it every single day. And I have to think that those players up north had the same thing going on in their strength programs. So then, to your point, it's just you can't normalize that, because that's not normal. It's insane. Every single day, they would beat this into our head. So you can't just one day snap your fingers and be like, you know what, guys, all that was a lie. This is just a normal game.
And they know what you're going to be experiencing that day.
Right.
So they'd rather beat it into you all year.
Yeah.
So when it arrives, it's not like they're just flipping the switch.
Yeah.
They've already flipped it all year.
Yeah, every single day.
It's amazing.
Yep.
My man, Reed Fragel.
Anthony, thanks so much.
Dude, you got to get back on the tailgate show. We hung out at the casino one time.
Yeah, that'd be great to be more involved.
Let's get you on that depth chart again, big
That'd be
guy.
great. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, he's one of the best. Reed Fragel,
Thank you, man.
former Buckeye with us out here at Medallion Golf Club. We will come back. Speaking of golf, the Memorial Tournament received some very interesting tour status today. The executive director of the Memorial, Dan Sullivan, will join us next with all those details. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Can anybody beat the Dodgers this year? If not, the Dodgers is trading at a 35.7% chance to win it all, meaning $100 will pay out $258.40. Baseball season is in full swing, and there's no better place to be than Cowshy. America's #1 prediction market platform. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft pick, the game, and more on Kalshi. Download Kalshi and use the promo code POWELL. That's POWELL to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. Kalshi, trade anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. See Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Football season is here. Make sure your internet is ready. Kinetic's 100% fiber gives you the fast, reliable connection to enjoy live football on YouTube TV and watch up to 4 live games at once with Multiview. Check real-time stats and catch more big plays without missing a snap. Take your game watching to a whole new level. Switch to Kinetic. Save up to $120 on your first year of YouTube TV. Visit GoKinetic.com for details. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. Cancel anytime. Kinetic. Internet better.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 35 years, I've seen it all. Car crashes, work injuries, defective products, medical mistakes, lives flipped upside down in an instant. But I've also seen something else, the power of fighting back, the power of winning. Over $30 billion recovered and counting. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
It's time for the summer sunset sale at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, lease a new 26 Tucson SE for $149 per month for 36 months. $149 a month. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $49.95 down plus tax title first month payment. 7,500 miles per year, ends 8/31.
Good feet. Yep, that's the line of the season for me. Every day, I slip into my shoes, and I know I've got the support and alignment I need. You know, I hear my buddies complain about their backs, their knees. They walk funny. Some of them look funny. And I kid because that was me years ago. No more. No more over-the-counter insoles for just that cushion. It never lasts anyway. My personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store are stable, they're strong, and they're personally fitted to me. From the moment you walk in the Good Feet store, they're going to take the time to understand you and the needs of your daily life. I used to have the aching feet and occasional lower back pain. The Good Feet store helped me where I needed relief and found the arch supports that work best for me. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people get back to feeling comfort on a daily basis, and I am one of them. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. They are on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City, or just get started at goodfeet.com.
At CEC Turf and Tractor, family means everything. That's why we're proud to welcome Green & Sons Equipment's Mount Sterling and Marysville locations to the CEC family. We're honored to carry on the relationships Green & Sons has built in these communities for generations while expanding our ability to serve you with more parts, more inventory, and faster response times. As one of Ohio's largest Kubota dealers, CEC Turf and Tractor is growing without losing sight of what matters most: hardworking people, trusted relationships, and hometown service. Visit CECTurfandTractor.com today for all your Kubota needs.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
A miserable season for the Reds in 1984. The club was some 20 games out of first place on this August 17th, but Riverfront Stadium was rocking that evening, the night that Pete Rose returned to the Reds after a 5-year absence. General manager Bob Howsam brought Pete back as a player manager, and in his first at-bat, Pete lined a single to center field. The ball got by Phillies outfielder Bobby Dernier, and Pete rounded second and headed to third, which he probably could have made standing up. But Pete knew what the fans had come to see, and he gave them a head-first slide into third base. The excitement was back at Riverfront this August 17th, 1984, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
11 years. The Buckeyes face 6 ranked teams, hosting 2nd-ranked Oregon and 16th-ranked Michigan, while visiting 5th-ranked Texas, 6th-ranked Indiana, 14th-ranked USC, and 22nd-ranked Iowa. Additionally, home opponent Illinois received votes in the poll. Baseball, Game 1 of a day-night twin bill in Cincinnati. Reds trail the Cardinals 2-0 in the bottom of the first. Game 2 set for 6:40. Guardians are off before hosting the Giants for 3 games. College hoops, Ohio State women's basketball will host UConn November 12th. The Huskies beat the Buckeyes last year in Hartford, Connecticut. This update is brought to you by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. Tickets, sideline passes, and trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Register today at roosterswings.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com.
All right, welcome back. Final hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. And we are at Medallion Golf Club for the MC Charity Challenge. All proceeds benefiting the James Cancer Hospital. Buckeye Cruise for Cancer leading the way on that. And they are playing through the rain. They are doing it for a great cause. They've raised more than $1 million over 9 years, and they're doing it again today and beyond. So this was the vision of Mike Zimmer and Charles Burris. This is the 10th year of the tournament. They've got a record, over 30 sponsors, 46 teams on this beautiful layout. So we are a little bit in the golf mode. And earlier today, about 10 in the morning, the PGA Tour went official with their new competitive model for 2028. So that includes the PGA Tour Championship Series. And what that really is designed to do is what I've been yelling for the past several years, which is let's get the best players in the world finally playing together again and competing against each other on a consistent basis. And the PGA Tour Championship Series, I believe, is going to represent that, and it's going to be elite competition. Now, where does Memorial stack up in all that? Most fans would think, well, that's not going anywhere, and you'd be right. It's not. In fact, it's cemented now in its top-tier status where it should be, and that was all approved by the PGA Tour boards and all this future competition committee and everything they're trying to do to bring the best golfers in the world together, try to identify them, and make the playoff even a little more exciting. And here to give us some of those details on what golf fans here in Central Ohio can expect with the Memorial is the one and only Dan Sullivan, the executive director of the Memorial Tournament. I know it's a busy time, Dan, but we appreciate it, bud. How you been?
Thanks for having me on, Anthony. You sound like you're having a great day out there. It sounds awesome.
Yeah,
it's doing great. Thank
pretty
you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. It's such a good cause, and we're happy to support this. And really, you know what Central Ohio is about. There's so many golf fans and people that love the Memorial, have been going there, generations of fans forever. And I guess the first thing, anytime I mention this to somebody, they always say the same thing. Well, what does that mean? Like, why? What's going to change? And I tell them, well, I'll get Dan Sullivan on. He'll explain. Now, I can imagine.
Exactly.
All right, so the first thing I need to ask, the tournament is still staying right around its Memorial Day slot, correct?
Yeah, we shouldn't expect anything to change with the date. And honestly, we shouldn't expect anything to change with how the Memorial's been presented over the years. We're really fortunate. We don't take it for granted. Really fortunate that the Memorial's been looked upon by the players, sponsors, our volunteers, our patrons, the television viewing audience around the world as being a elite event in professional golf. And that is not going to change. The PGA Tour is changing. And so we're evolving with that. And the fact that we will be one of 15 events that will comprise the schedule outside of the majors and outside of the playoffs to be recognized as the PGA Tour Championship Series, which is the top end of professional golf. And so you think of the Championship Series over the course of a calendar that will start at the beginning of, or start at the end of January and go through the beginning of August. There will be 22 to 23 events in that period. That'll include the 4 majors, the players, the Memorial, plus 14 other tour stops series. as well as a 2 playoff series system, and then the President's Cup or Ryder Cup. That'll comprise the most elite part of professional golf anywhere in the world.
The field itself, from a signature event, which we've had recently here with, 70 so guys, I think you guys were one of the rare tournaments that still had a cut. But when you move to the championship series status in 2028, your field will expand?
It will. It'll go back to 120. If you recall, our history has been, we started out as 90, 50 years ago, then went to 105, then 120, and then this latest iteration was at 72, which everyone thought, including me, it was too few players. We want to make sure the product is as deep and as wide as it can be in order to present a product that people enjoy watching. So going from 72 to 120 starting in 2028, I think will be a benefit for the fans, and frankly, it'll showcase more of the PGA Tour's product.
So, Dan, for the very, very, elementary golfer like myself, can you break down how Jack's Place gets selected for something like this? Like, what do you have to do as a country club golf course to get in the mix when it comes to the championship series?
Yeah, I mean, I'd first start, it's just kind of the body of work. So the good news is for 50 years we've been on the top end. The tour recognizes the uniqueness of what we have here, which is the iconic host and founder, Jack Nicklaus, a world-class golf course that universally is accepted as a great golf course. I don't care if you're a player, caddy, fan, everyone recognizes this golf course as second to none. And then we've got a community that really supports this tournament, and that's recognized as one of the absolute expectations going forward, that the PGA Tour will go to markets where they're appreciated and really well supported, and obviously having a great partner in Workday. All of those elements are expected on any tournament across the tour at the championship series level. We just have to have every single one of them in place. And so the conversation wasn't hard. It was just a matter of making sure that we have all the details in place. We understand exactly where the tour is going with it and how we fit in before we wanted to communicate anything.
Dan Sullivan with us, Executive Director of the Memorial Tournament, as they get top-tier status in the new championship series that will unveil itself in 2028. So, and Dan, I'm not sure how much you know after your tournament. So at the end of the season, I guess you'll have, 90 players that get championship level. They get their eligibility. Remember that whole, trying to earn your card? And I guess now there's some real fear the bottom 30 get relegated to the Challenger. Is that your understanding?
That's right.
The different series?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so in round numbers, just think about it. If we have a 120-player field, 30 of those players at the end of the season, which would be in the first week of August, would get relegated out down to the Challenger Series, which are a series of tournaments throughout the year that have 144 players, have purses of maybe $4 or $5 million. And so those players, unfortunately, didn't perform well enough, so they're relegated out. And the 30 who performed extremely well in the Challenger Series work their way back up into the Championship Series. So it's very much like you see in any other relegation sport, whether it's Premier League soccer over in Europe or over in England. It's an opportunity for the best to be rewarded and to stay on the Championship Series track, or get relegated out, go work hard to make sure that you're back in position to come back in the PGA Tour Championship. There'll be a lot of Championship Series. There's going to be a lot of movement at the end of the year, not during the year. There may be some movement during the year going up, not down, and then all of it will happen once the season is over at the end of 2028 and then moving into future years.
Well, I think it's a tribute to what Jack and Barbara certainly have built, what you have fortified in your team, and where this tournament is in people's minds. Because I think a lot of people think, okay, it's a lock. This is Jack's tournament. Of course he's going to be elite status. But his name alone carries a lot of weight. But it's what this tournament has become over the years and how it's run and the champions it's produced that I think vault you guys to this status. So congratulations on that. And I'm very excited about the Tour Championship, Dan, becoming a match play event with a little more bracket, one-on-one, the fact that they'll rotate the Tour Championship at the end. I think that'll have a real cool feel as far as when they wanted to reimagine the playoff of the golf year.
Yeah, no question. And back on the Memorial, you're right. Thank you for saying that. I mean, we're really fortunate what we've created. And when you see the remainder of the Championship Series events on who's in and, frankly, who's not, you'll see some tournaments that have been long-standing on the PGA Tour that have now been not included in the Championship Series and put in Challenger. So in those tournaments, we'll have to kind of regroup on how they position themselves. And so we're really fortunate to be able to be on the top level, and we're going to keep on focusing to make sure that we don't lose that positioning.
Yep, you'll never take it for granted, my man. Thank you for jumping on and giving us the blow-by-blow on this, because I know it can be confusing, but I think the bottom line is you guys being a top-tier Championship Series event, the field's going to expand, and the most important part for Central Ohio golf fans, and this is just me maybe saying it, is with that expanded field, you'll have golf all over the course now, and I think that's very cool.
Yeah, that's right. At least on Thursday and Friday, then we'll go to
right.
the top. You're right on. I hope you guys have a great day. Congrats on the success of that event.
Thanks, my man.
Thanks, Dan.
Be well. That's our friend Dan Sullivan, Executive Director of the Memorial Tournament. 2028 PGA Tour Championship Series. The Memorial will be a part of that. When we come back, we'll get back into college football. And Senior Day, Matty, and the strategical move. We'll discuss it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Trust isn't built in a day. It's built over years of showing up, doing the right thing, and standing behind every promise. For 34 years, that's exactly what Newman Roofing has done for families across Central Ohio. We know inviting a contractor to your home is a big decision. That's why we believe every homeowner deserves honest, transparent communication and a team that's there to educate you, not pressure you. The goal is simple: deliver a white glove customer experience that leaves you just as confident in the process as you are in the finished product. That commitment has earned Newman Roofing the honor of being voted City Scene Magazine's Best Roofing Company 5 years in a row. This award represents something more important than just recognition. It represents the trust of our neighbors. So, if you're considering a new roof, siding, or gutters, choose the local company that's spent more than 3 decades putting families first. Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Football fans, it's almost time to draft your team and kick off another season. This year, take your fantasy football draft party to Twin Peaks, where cold drinks made from scratch food and wall-to-wall TVs make your local lodge the ultimate draft day headquarters. Round up your league, grab a table, and get ready for the picks, the rivalries, and a full season of bragging rights. Whether you're defending your title or drafting for the first time, start your fantasy season at Twin Peaks. Book your fantasy football draft party at your local lodge today.
Iconic summer moments deserve an iconic drink. Reach for Mountain Dew, an American original. From its beginnings in the foothills of Tennessee to your biggest summer yet. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since '48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible, but Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the Columbus community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, and a member FDIC.
Every year, summer ends and the kids go back to school. This year, I'm going back too, at My Computer Career. They helped me get financial aid, and I got to choose online or on-campus classes to fit my needs. Now I'm on a fast track to a high-demand IT career where the rewards can finally match my value. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. It's never too late to go back to school.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
have foot pain. Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Bishop and Friends.
Your comedic timing on the zinger to Saban.
I thought we could smile a little bit, laugh a little bit. If the timing was right and coach was there, we could maybe get a smile out.
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Cellar.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For the afternoon, some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms do remain possible. Otherwise, more clouds than sunshine, humid, highs in the lower 80s. Overnight, mostly clear skies develop. We'll watch for some areas of fog. For your Tuesday, morning fog, then mostly sunny and somewhat less humid, highs around 81. For The Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Free Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, so the AP poll dropped today, and it basically mimics the coaches in a lot of ways. Ohio State is number one.
Number one.
In both in the preseason. And while that won't reverberate too much, it'll give you some narrative going in that number one is going to be playing at number 4 or number 5. What is Texas and the coaches, I believe, was 1 up their 4. So now we know, outside of something really stupid happening, it'll be 1 versus 4 in Austin.
Texas plays Texas State week 1.
So outside of something really stupid happening,
we're getting top 5.
We're getting 1 versus 4.
Yep.
And the odd part for me with the AP poll was that I expected the writers to have something a little different than the coaches. And they didn't. They still had Georgia at 3. And they still believe that Oregon is 2, which makes a lot of sense. The AP poll had Michigan at 16. And it's just time to prove it for a lot of teams. I'm not going to make a big deal out of this other than the fact that I think a number of teams like Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, they all could have been named number 1 today, and they weren't. It was Ohio State.
If Ohio State's going to live up to this number 1 ranking, I think a few things are going to happen. I think it's going to be the offensive line, which we've talked about for months now, not being an issue. But maybe more importantly, it's all the new faces on defense going right away and being impactful players right away. Earl Little, James Smith, guys that are coming back. Kenyatta Jackson, can you level up off the season that you had a year ago? 6.5 sacks for him. So that's what this is about for me. I feel pretty comfortable about what the offense is going to look like, right? I think I'd be surprised if that unit is struggling week in and week out. Yes, they're going to face much more resistance this year with the schedule they have. We all understand that. But the defensive side of the ball, if they're going to live up to this, and in the APO, they got 40 first-place votes. The coaches poll, they got 38. It's going to be about Coach Day, the defensive staff identifying the guys coming out of the portal, and those guys being immediate impact players on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I'm there's no way I would disagree with that, with all the guys they lost offensively. And then, like you said, the key additions, the guys that we don't know, a guy coming in from Florida State, a couple Bama guys. Like, you expect them to fit right in. The one thing that Reed Fragel brought up, and I agree, is, you know, this offense is going to be difficult to stop, but you say ... if the offensive line lives up to the hype.
That's right.
Like, I don't think you can automatically stamp it and say that this offense is going to be difficult to stop until we see it against major competition. I'm not talking about blowing out Ball State or something.
Right.
I'm talking about last year when they faced Indiana and Miami, that offense went into a lull. Mm-hmm. It did, based on facing very good defenses. Now, the offensive line is much more experienced now and maybe even has more depth. And then the other part about this, which I think everyone is very curious about, and I think the balance of this offense can be better. I do, even though Bo's back.
Yeah.
But there could be a little more of a combo platter there in the backfield. To me, it's Arthur Smith replacing Brian Hartline. Like, I think this has a chance to be a real balanced offense if the offensive line is who we think they can be. And if it is, then you bring so much more to the equation by not just, sending this into the Julian Jeremiah save us offense. Where he'll win a lot.
Right.
But
It's going to be so fun for us to watch because we had Brady Quinn on earlier, and he was talking about C.J. Carr and how he's maybe looking at the personnel and things that have happened this offseason and thinking maybe they lean more towards the pass this year. And so hopefully Arthur Smith, and I'm sure he has, over the last few months has looked at, okay, what do we have? What guys work well here? What guys work well there? Do I have a tight end or two that I can rely on when I want to go to that? Because we saw throughout his time in the NFL that, hey, tight ends are going to be in the mix. And so is there a guy over there that's ready to handle that? The pass catchers on the outside, we know he's going to be able to get those guys the rock a ton. Obviously with Jeremiah, you'd be a fool not to do that. But you mentioned the word balance. It's always great to have that. Always great to have that, putting defenses in a bind, and especially a run game that can travel with you on the road. Last year, the defense was awesome. Everybody had confidence no matter where they were, who they played against. The defense was going to show up and do their thing. But can this run game, and to your point, the offensive line, go elsewhere and move people around, especially closing out games in the third and fourth quarter this year?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to be able to be physical when it matters most.
Absolutely.
And they weren't physical when it mattered most last year. They have so much talent.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can rise above that on occasion, and then you don't know about turnovers and all that stuff. But, it's the same thing that Texas is dealing with. Texas has an all-in feel for this year.
Mm-hmm.
They get Ohio State at home in week 2. Arch Manning's a year older. We all believe it'll be his final year. And they add Cam Coleman from Auburn, a great receiver.
He's a dude. He can go.
But the difference is that Texas did not run the ball very well. Arch can run, but they didn't run it well. They were like top 90, maybe, barely in FBS and rushing. And so they have to be more physical, and I think teams know that. And, Sark fired his defensive coordinator, and all of a sudden now it feels like Texas is going all in on, okay, this is Arch's last year.
This is the team.
They have to be the team.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
And so that 1 versus 4 matchup, when it comes to week 2, is going to be incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be everything, right? And especially from Texas' side of things, with them trying to get their revenge, if you will, for coming up here last year and that game not going the way that they wanted it to. So, yeah, hopefully everybody comes out of week 1 healthy and we get to see all the stars on full display. Look, I just think Sark's up against it this year. Like, I don't know if his job is on the line, but I do think, AR, if they don't get to the Final Four this year at minimum,
he's got to make the playoff first.
Fair, but I think
it last year.
When you mapped out what this team is supposed to be with the quarterback and the additions and all the returning talent, I just think there's a tremendous amount of heat on him to at least get to that Final Four this year. If not, have to imagine there's going to be some interesting chatter coming out of Austin.
Yeah, and when you see the fact that Texas was 5, which is nothing to be ashamed of. 5 is fine.
Absolutely.
The fact they were 4 in the coaches. But Joel Klatt has them at 7. And he watches a lot of football.
He does.
And I did not expect anyone to have Texas lower than 5 this year, and he did.
They did not, AR, get a first-place vote in the AP poll. They got 2 in the coaches' poll, but 0 in the AP poll. Miami got 1, Indiana got 8 of those, Notre Dame 6, Oregon 14. And so that's probably something that they're going to use as motivation. But like you just said, you're a top 5 team with a guy that you know under center should be a dude this year. You're splitting hairs with a lot of these teams that are in the top 5. So if you're Texas, Notre Dame, Georgia, Oregon, even Ohio State right now, there's no point in getting too carried away with this.
No, and you look at Texas's schedule. They got to go to Tennessee. They got Oklahoma in a neutral. They'll host Ole Miss.
Where's the A&M game?
I'll have to find out exactly where that is. No, the Oklahoma game.
I'm sorry. Yes.
I don't know exactly where, but I'm thinking that's neutral.
Okay.
Ole Miss We'll see what they are. They got to go to Mizzou, go to LSU, and go to A&M.
So it's on the road. Kyle Field. They got to go into Kyle Field late in the year.
You think about this for Texas. You talk about Ohio State's schedule. Whoever wins that game with this schedule is going to feel much better. And it's not because you'll feel better because you won and you'll be solidified as the number 1 ranked team in the country.
Right.
It's that you avoided.
You haven't burned your get out of jail free card.
You haven't burned one.
Right.
You get two.
Yeah, you get two, maybe three with this schedule.
If you have the right win.
Correct.
But the fact that Texas, if they were to lose to Ohio State in week 2 and know they have to go to Tennessee, play Oklahoma, play Ole Miss, go to Mizzou, go to LSU, go to A&M.
The walls can start to feel like they're closing in for either team. Whoever's the loser of that game, Ohio State or Texas, there could be a feel that, now we're up against it just a little bit.
All right, when we come back, we'll be joined by a former Buckeye from the 90s, and we'll talk about this moving of Senior Day off of the game. Very interesting strategically. We'll talk about it next in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
When your furnace or air conditioner stops working, you can always rely on Atlas Butler to get it up and running the same day. So why not depend on Atlas Butler for all your plumbing needs? Our expert plumbers can take care of anything from a clogged drain to a broken water heater. We work on all brands of water heaters and plumbing equipment. One call does it all.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Steve here with USA Insulation. Let's do some quick math together. Your energy bill this summer, probably one of the highest you've ever paid. Now imagine that same bill all winter long. That's what you're going to be looking at if you don't fix your insulation. You can still get the best deal of the year. We foam your walls, we insulate your attic for free. That ends August 31st. You don't want to miss it. The insulation pays for itself in energy savings. Call before August 31st for your free attic insulation. 529-2440 or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
I was always flat-footed, and I always had the excruciating foot pains my whole life. When I'd walk, I would have to sit down just watching people go by you.
This is Alan, and this is his Good Feet story.
I tried the drugstore inserts, physical therapy, icing, massage therapy. Nothing worked, and I couldn't take it anymore. I went to the Good Feet store. They fitted me for arch supports, and it changed my life. The Good Feet arch supports have been liberating. I never thought it could happen. I became a walker and doer again.
For over 30 years, the Good Feet store has been helping improve the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time.
With my Good Feet arch supports, I don't have to worry, oh no, we have to wait for him again. Now I'm like, I'm gonna run it right by you and I'll pass you up. My biggest regret is not going to the Good Feet store years ago. I mean, I feel absolutely free again. It's like my fountain of youth. It is an absolute miracle.
See how we can help you with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A perfect afternoon parlay. This is Rothman and Ice.
This is some old school now. You bring on a silver bullet. The, I believe, a former co-defensive player of the year back in the 96.
Boy, it's been so long. I'm surprised that they didn't scrub the internet to get rid of that bio piece. But that's true. There's truth in that. So you just won Trivial Pursuit, if that was the question. You
give me a little triangle to put in my little pie. All right, so Ryan Miller, I just want to get one thing very clear before we start this. Are you okay with anyone wearing 43 this year? I just want to make sure you haven't sent any cease and desist to Ohio State.
You know, I know where you're going with this. I think that's a little ridiculous. I got other words for it. But look, I remember Archie. When I was a freshman, I remember they gave 36 to another freshman that came in that was a linebacker, and Matt Christopher was his name. You may not remember. His son, by the way, is having a heck of a career at OU. He's a sophomore. But anyways, they gave him 36, and at the time they called Chris Spielman. And Chris was like, of course, I would love for someone to wear that number, and I'd love to see it out on the field. And then fast forward a few years later, Andy Katzenmoyer comes to college, and I was a senior, and he wanted to wear 45. Well, 45 is 36 is an important number, but 45 is the number, right?
Couple of Heismans.
The only two-time Heisman Trophy winner and Andy Katzenmoyer is on the defensive side of the ball. They call Archie, and Archie was pumped to have him wear it, right? So have times changed, right? Of course, it's fun to see the numbers out there. It's fun to see guys wearing numbers like 10, Rex Kern. You start thinking of older generations. It's about more than the guys right now. It's about more than the guys from the past. It's such a bigger thing that seeing all those numbers out there is amazing. Herbie and I, years ago, we did the radio on the Fan.
When it was good.
Years ago, yeah. When they got ratings.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
That's right.
But so Herbie and I.
This is a hobby for us.
so they brought in the pros now.
Oh yeah, right.
But so we used to play this game. We'd say a number, and then he would recollect different players from Ohio State that wore that same number. And guys, you realize there's been so many they've been playing football at Ohio State for over 100 years. There's going to be amazing players at each of those numbers. And so at some point you start running out of numbers if you got to be like, well, that's only going to be so-and-so's number because they made it. No, nobody made that number famous. That number's a number. We can tell who you are. But at the end of the day, there's going to be another that number who's going to hopefully do as well as you did, if not better than you did. And we're all rooting for them to do better than you did because we all love the Buckeyes or your respective team. So I think we've jumped the shark with this whole name, image, and likeness if we're starting to think your number is so tied to you. I mean, maybe I'm old school. Tell me to get off my lawn and I'll leave.
No, all good, man. I appreciate the take. That was an interesting perspective for sure, because here's the thing we talked about. We don't know what he was promised, right, from the LSU side, only because Joe Burrow did come out and say that he was told that no one was going to wear number 9. So we'll see where that goes. I know one thing we wanted to talk to you about was the Senior Day situation that's now happening here at Ohio State. That's now going from the end of the year to the beginning of the year. What are your thoughts on what Coach Day and administration's cooking up over there?
Yeah, so, I've had a few different thoughts, and I've had a chance to kind of marinate on those thoughts. But initially I was a little bit like, oh, man, it's kind of a bummer because it is such a tradition. But at the same time, I started to think, these games at the end of the season are so valuable. And adding an additional element that we all have to worry about as a player, as a coach, as a family, that distracts you from the real job at hand. At some point, you reach the conclusion that it would be best to do it in a lower stakes environment. My senior year was at home against the team up north, and they introduced each guy one at a time. You guys are way too young to remember this.
I was there.
But as they introduced the last guy, which was Belisari, Michigan takes the field and kind of runs through Belisari. Because at some point, you got to get the game going.
Yeah.
I mean, we're out there for 25 minutes recognizing each player, and I get it. Like, it became a little bit just too much. Mm-hmm. So I think this is actually a pretty good idea, even though traditionally you like to have it at the end. Look, at the end of the season, you're going to play another game, hopefully, right? And the last game in the shoe. The last time we won the national championship, they didn't know that was going to be the last game, and because it wasn't the last game, they had one more game. So you don't really know when the last game's going to be. Putting it to the front of the season allows for you to spend more time with family, a little bit more pomp and circumstance around it. I think it saves it and makes it more special long-term. Look, things have changed dramatically in the last 30 years. Shoot, in the last 10 years. Moving that, I think, you're going to keep the essence of what it is, what that Senior Day is all about. It's not like you're selling any more or less tickets. Right. So at the end of the day, I think it's going to be good to be able to focus on those kids and not stress out about, okay, let's get through this because we really want to beat Michigan or that last game. What?
So my understanding is that the seniors said good, that they were okay with it, that it wasn't just some unilateral thing that this is what we're doing. But I feel, and you can speak to this better than anyone, Rhino, that game has so much emotion wrapped up in it anyway. To add a layer of emotion that really doesn't have anything to do with the game itself, right?
Yeah,
it's going through your childhood and seeing your parents, and it's a lot for a kid to take on that.
Again,
you're asking them to take on the most emotional game of their year, and then you're adding that layer.
Okay, I'm going to give you another example. My senior year, you run out. It is emotional. First of all, you're playing in the last game. This is for the chance at the Big Ten, the Rose Bowl, the whole thing. Then you get a chance to go see your parents. This is the last time they're going to be in the shoe, and all the other family members from all the other players that have been with you for 4 or 5 years. So it's super emotional. I can remember Rob Kelly, who, by the way, is not an emotional guy in terms of that kind of stuff. And he was crying like a baby out on the 50-yard line. And I'm thinking to myself, wait
Before
a second,
the game.
what are we doing?
Right.
I got to go knock somebody's face off, and you're crying. Like, no, this is not. So I don't think it's as big of a thing to move it. It's probably a net positive from that perspective. I'm just excited for the guys. Look, anytime you have one more chance to go out there and play football as a former player, I'm excited for them. All the ancillary things that we talk about on the radio are fun, but at the end of the day, man, it's just another game for them to go out there and try to do their job to the best of their ability for their teammates and their coaches and for us fans.
Well, and some of the seniors in this new era, it'll be like, this was my only season at Ohio State, so it may not have the exact same emotion as a guy that came up all the way through.
That's true. And we've got some guys that look at Ohio State's done a pretty good job of threading the needle in this whole new era.
They really have.
And they really have. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I played there and I live here. Trust me, I've been around, I've talked to a lot of guys. Ohio State does as good of any school in America at threading this needle. The culture that they've built over there is top-notch. They do not let players come in and change the culture. The culture changes the player. And so for moms and dads out there that are sending their kids to Ohio State or somebody transferring into Ohio State, they should feel comfort knowing you're coming to a place that really is going to transform your kid. It's not a transactional thing at Ohio State. Other schools, maybe. Maybe you need a guy to come in at middle linebacker, so transactionally you figure it out and it's done. But at Ohio State, we're trying to transform that student athlete so that they'll be part of this community for the rest of their life. And I think they've been able to do that.
Let's get your thoughts on the defense, because Matt Patricia comes in last year, does a heck of a job. Now a whole bunch of talent has gone to the NFL. However, on paper, it looks like there's a whole bunch of talent that has now come through the door from other programs. And so what are your thoughts on Matt Patricia right now and the job he's got to do to get this defense back to a high level?
It's exciting. That's the first word I would use, not just because of Coach Patricia, and he's amazing, by the way. I mean, the way that he connects with the players, and that's the best thing a coach could ever do is connect with the players, gets the most out of them. These kids that have been waiting in the wings, chomping at the bit, it's so exciting for me to watch them. And I can tell the ones that have been here and they've been just waiting and waiting, and they've been listening and watching and learning. When I see them at practice, you can tell they feel it's their time to carry the torch for the Silver Bullets. And so Coach Patricia is just one of a team of coaches that are amazing. You know, Timmy Walton, who I was fortunate enough to play with at Ohio State, he's an amazing leader of young men. Coach Laurinaitis, amazing leader of young men. Coach Johnson on the defensive line, amazing leader of young men. They've got guys on that defensive staff that are going to have these guys ready to play regardless if they've lost a lot of players. Now, I know coaches are always nervous when you replace some serious talent and some production. But I also know that these guys are ready to go, and it's been happening for years. You know, you lose a guy, but a guy is ready to step back up, and if you've developed them the right way and you've put in the work and you've done the film study, you're going to have a pretty good season. This time of year, defense is typically ahead of the offense. If you were to go over to practice, you'd probably feel the same way just because that's the way it is. Guys are still able to fly around and make plays. Offenses are still working on their timing. But I do think that there's an excitement over there that this time of year is normal. And with Coach Patricia, I feel very confident that we're going to have a really, really strong defense yet again this year.
Former Buckeye linebacker Ryan Miller with us, lined up next to the Big Cat, Greg Belisari, and our boy Jerry Radzinski was probably right behind you at that point.
That's right.
In 96.
Yeah, he's just younger, yeah.
And now I think he has a son that's on the team. How does that make you feel?
You know, I took a picture with him today, and I'll even show you when we get off the air that, Ryan, he's such a great kid. You know,
Named his kid after you, clearly.
He's a Waterson grad, local kid. He has been part of Second and Seven's reading program for years. He was actually our summer intern a year ago through the Bucks Go Pro 2.0, which is an amazing program, by the way, for student athletes to get internships in the community. This kid is a first-class kid. And again, this is what I'm talking about. Yep. You may not see him a ton on Saturday. You'll see him on kickoff return for sure, and you may see him other spot, but you're going to feel good about a program that has kids like this within the program. I'm gonna give you a couple other names. Stan Jackson Jr.'s on the team. Ryan Radzinski's on the team. Yep. Mason Wilhelm's on the team. Niall Diggs Jr.'s on the team. Jason Gwynn's on the team. These guys, I played with their dads.
I know.
And here they are out there. I feel like, just yesterday I was like hugging them and congratulating them on their little flag football victory. And now here they are, about to line up for the Scarlet and Gray. So it's fun and it's a lot of pride when you go out there and you see these kids doing things the right way. And I know it's not easy. It's not easy to go out there, work as hard as you can and not get a ton of playing time. But I couldn't be more proud of those guys, and I'm just excited for the season.
A lot of legacy there. Ryan Miller, thanks, my man.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Welcome back on the radio anytime. You want to sharpen your skills. These kids in mid-season form already. We'll come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. Just freak the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
At ADP, we know you want your landscape business to succeed, but we don't know anything about landscaping. ADP only knows how to handle the business of your small business. So if ADP focuses on the payroll and the HR, while you focus on the land and the scaping, success should follow. Just don't expect us to know all about Kentucky bluegrass, zero-turn cutting, or what to do with a woodchuck. That's for you to figure out. Let ADP help your small business focus on the part of the business you're good at. ADP for small business.
Leon was about to leave the military.
My biggest concern was, what am I going to do next?
He found out about My Computer Career and their military transition program.
The Cyber Warrior program takes you from not knowing anything about a computer at all to being a subject matter expert.
How long is that going to take?
In the span of 4 months, I was able to get 4 different certifications.
4 months? Leon's advice?
Highly recommended.
Become a certified cyber warrior in just months at mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary. VA education benefits available to those who qualify.
It's likely you've made peace with the congestion that greets you every morning. The snoring your partner stopped mentioning. It feels unfixable, but it isn't. For most, it's a nasal breathing problem that's treatable for good.
I'm Dr. Kandula, founder of Advent. Advent can deliver long-term results in about 20 minutes with simple in-office procedures. We diagnose and treat the root cause of nasal congestion, sinus pressure, sleep apnea, snoring, and allergies. 96% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement, and most major insurance plans are accepted.
Wake up and smell the life you've been missing. The family picnic, the run by the lake, the fresh cut grass. Breathe deep, sleep through the night, and step into every day sharper and more present. It's time for a new beginning. It's the advent of your best life.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and football season is here. Time to score big at Germain Toyota of Columbus. Whether you're hauling the tailgate or heading to the big game, drive home in a tough new 2026 Toyota Tundra with 2.99% APR financing for up to 72 months, or call an audible and lease the 2026 Tacoma SR for just $349 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing and 10,000 miles per year. Make this your championship drive at Germain Toyota of Columbus, right off I-70 and Bryce Road. Visit GermainToyota.net today.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
How many of you have had your garage floor done? I'll wait for the answer. Yeah, that's enough. How many of you think it looks like crap? That's because it is crap. One quick call to Comer & Cross Concrete Floor Coatings at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they can install a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor in one day. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. And here's the best part. It is guaranteed your garage floor will never chip, crack, crack or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And listen, you lazy bum, they'll even take the stuff out of the garage for you. They're all certified uniform pros. No subcontractors at Comer and Cross. This is a premier product with premier results, and they hired a premier endorser to tell you about it. For your quick and easy Comer and Cross garage floor quote, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR now. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to comercross.com, C-O-M-E-R cross.com.
Morning Juice is now on YouTube weekday mornings starting at 6. If you're a fan of Bobby Carpenter, he's ready to attack and dominate. If you're a fan of Jeff Goodoff, drive directly to a hospital. Seriously, The Fan.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, I'm going to tell the truth. Start building the ark. The animals will go on 2 by 2.
Man.
Central Ohio. In August, the driest, hottest month of the year.
Now, AR, you know me. Your boy loves a rainy day. But I've even had enough of the just buckets of rain that have just been dumped on our city for 4 or 5 straight days now. This is ridiculous.
But do you love a rainy night, Eddie Rabbit? Do you like that? You said you like a rainy day, but do you love a rainy night?
Movie? That's an old?
It's an old song.
Oh, what is it?
I love a rainy night.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There we go. Big Mo there. Big Mo holding that for you. There you go.
All right, Mo, take us home, my man.
All right. Well, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but there are 3 new Oreo flavors out there. Have you seen that?
No.
There's banana pudding, chicken and waffle, and deep fried Oreo. Okay. Now, that made me think, what possible flavors could be out there? And for you guys, tell me the truth. Is there a flavor that you would really like to see Oreo put out there?
I can't tell you exactly what I would, because it's a cookie. Why are we doing chicken and waffles? I actually like the golden Oreo. I think it's very good.
The golden Oreo with the chocolate in the middle is amazing.
Well, is that okay? I didn't know about that.
It's been
do they have a peanut butter?
It's got to be
anything.
Something. It's got to be something.
That's what I would vote for if there is one.
They do have, and I think you can only get them at Walmart, the Oreos with the Reese's peanut butter.
Exclusive to Walmart?
Yeah. Yeah, because that's high class right there.
Must be doing really well at Walmart for them to sign an exclusive deal.
Exclusivity.
I'm looking right now at some of. There has to be
I'll tell you one that's
peanut butter Oreo.
They got to have something with peanut butter in it.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if they didn't. Big Mo, they had for a while, and I don't know if they still make this, the golden birthday cake Oreo. That was always a win for me. If I can't get those, give me the golden Oreos, but the lemon flavor.
Yes.
Those get it done. But I got to have the thin AR. I can't have the regular. I need a thin
bag of lemon creams for my boy Matty Ice.
So, but the deep fried Oreo is actually, it's like the vanilla wafer or the vanilla outside, but then the cream on the middle is the chocolate and the white cream, and the outside cookie is supposed to taste deep fried. And then the chicken and waffle is actually a maple flavored waffle cookie with a chicken flavored cream in the middle.
That's where they lose me. Chicken flavored cream, AR. How's that sound to you? Want a dollop of that?
Ask Gladys Knight what she thinks about that. What
she is a chicken and waffle priestess.
Facts.
Yes.
True.
All right. Well, our vote is golden Oreo, and Matty brought up the thin one, which I like as well. The thins.
All right. I can get on board with those. Have you guys heard about this? AR, you may have heard about it. This new movie that's being filmed about the Beatles. It's a 4-film cinematic event. They're filming it all together, but there's going to be 4 films on each one of the Beatles. Have you heard about that?
I have not. I mean, I watched the old ones, Hard Day's Night, and all the ones that they made when they were stars. And I've been to Beatlemania, and I've seen Cirque du Soleil Beatlemania.
How was that?
Which was awesome
I
in
love
Vegas.
a good Cirque du Soleil
That
show.
was awesome.
So
for the music. But no, I know nothing about this movie because I've been tied into the I Play Rocky, which comes out in November.
Well,
Tell me about this one.
So this one is it's done in the perspective of each Beatle, so they're filming it all together, but each individual movie will be featuring one of those Beatles. It has, I'm trying to find everybody that's in it.
Are these documentaries?
No. This is
actors, right?
These are actors.
Okay.
So you have Barry Keoghan. Let's see here. There we go.
I wouldn't know any. They probably just got guys that look like them.
Paul Mescal, Barry Keoghan, Harris Dickinson, and Joseph Quinn. So Joseph Quinn just was in Fantastic Four, and he was in Stranger Things. Barry Keoghan, don't know. Paul Mescal, don't know. The other guy, don't know. But they just recreated the iconic Abbey Road cover. So that's the big news right now. But I wanted to ask you guys, would you consider going to a movie that ends up being 4 different movies, and I don't know when they'll be released, about the same subject, like one after another?
You'd have to really love it. I mean, what I would like to see, and I don't know. I mean, I grew up liking it because my stepdad loved them. He had the albums, and I became a huge Beatles fan. There are some people that just have no affection for the Beatles, and I don't know why. I think their music's incredible. But if Gen Z and Alpha and whatever else, if this helps, then I'm all for it. But I don't know can they get new fans? That's my question.
I don't think they can. Because me as a millennial, I don't think I'm going to be running to the theater to watch this, especially if I got to go 4 different times.
You live at the theater. You love the theater.
I do like the theater. So, Big Mo, I think I'm going to be out on this, Big Dog. I'll live through AR and have him recap it scene by scene on the show for us.
Okay.
I will be there. There's no doubt. I'm a huge Beatles fan. But
Yamo be there.
Yeah, Yamo be there. But I get it. That's a lot to commit to. Hey, there has been it seems like they do these every year, but USA Today just did a stadium rankings for Major League Baseball for this season. And the top 10, some of them kind of surprised me. What do you think number 1 was?
Should be PNC.
No.
Wrigley, probably.
No. Wrigley number 2, Fenway number 1.
Okay. All right.
Number 3, Dodgers Stadium. Number 4, Oracle Park in San Francisco. Okay. Number 5, Kauffman in KC. Angel Stadium is in number 6. Coors Field number 7. PNC in Pitt is at 8. Citizens Bank Field in Philly at 9, and Camden Yards at 10. Now, since we are in Ohio, and I know, Matty, you're a strong Reds fan. I'm a Cleveland fan. Where do you think Progressive and Great American Ballpark were ranked, and which one do you think was ranked ahead?
Here's what I know. GABP should be number 1, and on Big Mo, we got to go. There's Tell the Truth for today. AR, send us home, Big Dog.
Thanks, everyone, here for the MC Charity Challenge, everybody that came out to help raise money for the James Cancer Hospital and the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. All these dudes back here, they played golf, they're drinking, they're raising money. Congrats to everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow at high noon. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there.